These stupid clips on TikTok. What's his name? The Messi. Look at this shit. Dude, what the freak is going on? Why he laying at this reporter like this? Ah, puta. I picked the wrong one. No, but I can't get claimed. Bro, what is this? Stop doing this, Messi. Don't do this. Tú eres mejor que esto. You're the best. Why he be looking at her like that? He in love with this girl. I haven't seen these, but like the other one where he was like freaking, the past one right now, the one at the Balón de Oro. Like he's like in a whole ass other fucking interview. This dude just keeps on looking at her. It might not even be anything there, but I don't know, man. Don't do it, Messi. This fucking one, bro. He looked at her like 4 or 5 times while he was in a whole ass other interview. I don't know. Maybe I'm looking too much into it, but don't do it. You're our hero. Don't be doing this bullshit, man. Or I guess you're my way, but I don't know. There's gotta be some faithful men out there. I'm tired of all these fucking see, he can do what he wants. He's a GOAT, bro. I don't know. He's a perfect dude. You don't gotta be doing that, Antonella. She don't deserve that. I don't know. Damn. I'm gonna put some videos. I'm gonna play just a little bit. I don't really feel like playing that much. I watched the movie. Me gustó. What the fuck is this with the Google Pixel, man? Hey, whatever.
No, this is an upgrade.
Puta, what the fuck, bro? Chat. Whatever, we'll just play for a little bit.
In the chat right now. If finally, after all those rants that you guys
that finally,
you're like, holy shit, maybe Skills had a point. Last year before the World
you just
Cup,
chatting shit, man.
Screaming, and everybody's like, don't worry, man, we're top 3. And I was still bitching and moaning and crying about how bad United was. But everybody was saying that, yo, we're top 3, man. You're not seeing it right. You're not seeing it. And I kept bitching and crying because I could see that if Chelsea and Liverpool were good, or there was any other good teams in the league, that United never would have had the positioning they had. And I kept saying that, and I kept showing people, and people kept saying that I was delusional, and I was dumb, and I didn't know what I was talking about.
Yeah, dumb.
And the truth is, United only stayed where they stayed because after the top 2, the Premier League sucked last year. Do y'all agree or disagree? The only reason Manchester United stayed where they stayed last year is because after the top 2 teams, the Premier League was washed, bro. It was mudded.
Ollie Watkins.
That are usually good didn't perform, which left room for United to be where they were. It was never that 10 did a good job. It's never that 10 was cooking. It's that other teams sucked.
What the hell is this?
Spurs, Liverpool, Chelsea sucked. That's all I'm saying. And now we get to this season and y'all can actually see they've wasted a stupid amount of money on transfers. A stupid amount of money on players that just shouldn't be there. Mason Mount.
Loki
WLT. What was that signing for? Dead signing.
And the hagas hacen eso. That fucking club, bro.
Dead signing, bro. You know? Oh, Nana, dead signing.
Oh, for sure.
You cannot look at me in my face.
My face.
And tell me that Onana's a better keeper than De Gea.
No, up in the house, bro.
Can't.
He's not a bad one, but
you cannot look at
he's not better.
And say Onana is a way better keeper than
Nunca
De Gea.
sabiendo que tenían ese que se
De
fue.
Gea has better receipts.
That's straight up.
De Gea has better receipts.
Straight up. It's
Ready for what I'm about to
factos.
say? Real Madrid got a better keeper on loan than Manchester United went out and bought.
I don't know.
Kepa is better than Onana.
That's kind of a howler.
And that's facts.
That's a howler.
And that's facts.
I mean, yo no creo que es tanta la diferencia,
I'm
pero
dropping pure facts.
it depends, bro. Tell me
You're
again.
American, bro. You're delusional. You're delusional. I'm American and you're delusional. I'm American, you're delusional.
Team of
Listen
the
to what
week,
I'm saying to you,
Brazilian
bro.
players.
All I'm saying to you is this.
Tocajinga no paqueta. What the
You
fuck?
dropped the Haya so you could bring in a player that is better with his feet out the back. I'm not here to get United fans triggered and be against me. Look, chat, every time I post something on Twitter, there are people that are like, oh, look, here's the Manchester United hater. Here's the Manchester United hater. Here's this, here's that. There's constant people.
I know black.
That.
I know
I'm
black.
saying
I know
what say
black.
because I want to see United's downfall. And the opposite is here. If you back 10, you want to see United's downfall.
Factos. Factos. That's factos, though.
If you support 10, you are a Manchester City fan and you believe Manchester's blue. And I ain't fucking with you. And I said it.
That's facts,
I'm
though.
over it. Y'all keep saying I want to see United's downfall. People that support 10, you want to see United's downfall. I don't give a shit what anybody says, bro. Y'all can keep coming at my neck and act like I don't want what's best for United. He dropped De Gea, he dropped Ronaldo, he dropped Sancho, he brought in Onana, he brought in Mason Mount, and all they do is get dogged. 0 goals for, 6 against in Old Trafford in the past 2 games. Don't worry, lads. Onana's a sick keeper with his feet. You're a goalkeeper, man. Make yourself big. Make yourself big, Onana. Make yourself big.
What the fuck is doing team of the keepers aquí? What the hell?
You know what this tweet says? Onana took Halloween too serious and was trying to scare the ball away.
What the fuck? Trying to scare the ball away. What the hell? Is it 82 right now? Let's see if I can get a higher one. There's that girl. Look, I don't think it's a team of the week.
I'll let the chat speak, man.
What the fuck?
United is shit for 8 years. Don't blame the coach. You know who I'm not gonna blame? The Glazers. You know why I'm not gonna blame the Glazers?
I don't even think I need him. That's what I'm doing for the trade.
Because they own the club.
I'm doing for the line.
Do you know what that means? That means there's nothing we can do about it.
You know what?
Understand?
Actually, that is
It's
so
like if I
fucking true.
walk into somebody's McDonald's and I say, can you please wash your
Man,
floors?
me, Julia, you
Go.
never have to be alone. I'm right
Get
here.
out of my restaurant.
What the fuck am I saying?
I can't do nothing about it, Chad. They own it. You can't do
Yeah,
nothing against somebody who owns it.
honor.
What are you supposed to do? If they don't want to sell, they're not gonna sell.
They don't want to sell. They're not
They
gonna sell.
own it, dude.
Deed.
So let's move on from trying to get them out and figure out what's the next step to getting this team
One.
right.
Fuit.
Because the one thing you can say about them, as shit of owners they are, because I agree they're bad owners.
What the hell is it?
They
84,
brought in
85.
players.
Damn, this is fucking cheap as hell.
Varane,
Faran.
Mason Mount, Onana, Malacia,
Who's better?
Holland, Sancho,
86,
Anthony.
86, 84, 90. I mean, he's pretty good. How's Ollie Watkins? 91, fue puta. 87, fue puta.
But
Oh, dude, this is way
but
fucking
the
better.
performances are not happening.
The links, I don't know about that, but Ollie
The
Watkins is better and he's
performances are not
cheaper.
happening. They're spending money.
Bro, what
They
you talking
gave
about?
Mason Mount this summer. That's what 10 wanted. You wanted Amrabat. You wanted a defensive mid. You wanted a box-to-box. They gave you Casemiro.
That's how you say that?
Amrabat.
Amrabat?
What more do you want?
Amrabat. No, this guy don't know what it is. He don't know how to say that. So. He's Portuguese.
People told me
I thought it's...
when Manchester United gets a midfield, they're gonna cook.
No, they're not. What the fuck?
Bruno Fernandes,
They got one more
Amrabat,
problem.
Casemiro.
Hagas.
What's left? %. And for anyone who says to me right now, bro, let's talk about injuries. Let's do it. Let's talk about injuries. Because I saw the Barcelona completely annihilated with injuries. Almost beat Real Madrid. And if it wasn't for Jude Bellingham hitting from 50 yards out against one of the best goalkeepers in world football, Barcelona beat Real Madrid with a bunch of injuries. There was no excuses from Barcelona. They went out there and they performed against almost a full-strength Real Madrid, except for Eder Militao and Courtois, and they nearly beat them. Teams deal with injuries. Y'all weren't saying the same energy for Chelsea last year when they're nearly getting relegated and y'all are in third place. United fans aren't going, oh, Chelsea's at the bottom of the table because they have 15 injuries and
Fuck.
Conte hasn't
What
played
the...
all
No, my
season.
miss, bro.
No, y'all made fun of them. So stop bringing up injuries now that injuries are happening. Because every team deals with injuries, bro.
Bro? Creo que va a comer la banda, bro.
It's 10, bro.
What the fuck? Why the hell I have this dude?
10.
I don't need this dude no more. Vete a la
Conversation's
verga.
over. 10 don't know how to buy players.
A mí se me olvidaba de one, that guy.
He don't know how to buy players, bro. That's it.
Marry
Let's
me,
start talking about who
you
he's
never
brought in.
gotta be alone. Jackson.
Do you guys accept who 10 has brought in? Or are you happy with the players he signed? United fans, if he leaves your club right now, has he left you in a better place or a worse place?
Worst place. What the fuck do you think a better place?
Answer the question properly. Has he
Popolay.
left you in a better place or a worse place?
Fucking worse. Hey, me and Juliet, you never gotta be alone.
You got a 70 or
And a
80
warm welcome. Our
million
venue
pound
for this
signing
game is the
Sancho
Emirates
that
Stadium in
nobody,
North London.
MIA, nobody knows
I'm
who
Derek
he is.
Ray, and
Ah,
joining me to
saber, bro.
provide expert
The
analysis
reserves, that's what
is
it is.
Nobody
Stuart
knows where this guy
Robson. We're
is.
featuring a full
Okay?
squad battles match. Stuart, what are your expectations
You got
for
Anthony,
today?
a.k.a. Fidget Spinner, doing spins.
Fidget spinner. FIG. What the fuck is
Hasn't
that?
done nothing for you since you bought him.
And here's how Arsenal will line up. Ronald Koeman plays with Giorgio Chiellini in central.
Giorgio.
The lead striker today is
The
Edin
only
Dzeko.
player that deserves a little bit of respect this year,
And he's clear as lines.
and I'm not even saying
Let's
this
have a look
joking,
at the initial 11 for the visitors.
is Mick Sauce.
My goodness, that save, fully stretched he was. One for his own highlights reel.
Because at least when he came in, he tries.
Trying to pick out a teammate. Not really the
At
ideal
least when Mick
clearance.
Sauce came in, he tries, bro.
A really single-minded piece of defending to
Harry
make sure
Maguire,
nothing
another
untoward
one.
happened.
Another one.
DeMarcos.
I just don't know anymore
Must take
how
the lead
United
here.
fans can back this guy down.
Fácil, feo fácil.
If you want what's best for that badge on your shirt, you
And the
need to
ball
realize
moving
the
again.
moment
What
he
sort
said
of
he
response
can
will
make
we
your
see
team
from
play
them now?
Ajax football, what was
Ajax.
the point of it?
Bro, what is with this dude's
Give me one if
pronouncing?
you agree.
Ajax.
You weren't signed to come in to let the players determine the football you're going to play, Ted.
And promising stuff
You
from
were
Arsenal.
brought in to bring players into this club that play your football. So when you sign Casemiro, and you sign Holland, and you sign Anthony, and you sign Malacia, and you sign Martinez, it's because Manchester United fans thought that you were bringing Ajax football to Old Trafford. Instead, you went in front of the media and said that, well, the players determine the football that I can play. And here at Manchester United, I will never be able to play the football that I played at Old Trafford because we don't have the same type of football players here.
Bitch, what? He didn't say that. Did he say that? Que es una pendejada decir. What?
Oh, they've lost
Crazy.
it. Well,
I've
foul play,
never
says
heard
the
a manager
referee.
say that.
Football heritage. Football heritage.
If I said anything wrong, give
The
me an L
defenders
right now.
know they need to get
L.
tighter.
I don't even really care about that, you know? You know what makes me sad? It's not that Ronaldo left European football. It's that Manchester United fans didn't get the right send-off with their club
Opportunity
legend.
it is.
Give me a one if you feel me, chat. That's the only thing that makes me sad.
Puta madre, Jordan Morris, what the fuck?
Manchester United fans deserve to get the right sending off with their club legend. The same with Wayne Rooney, the same with all those.
After you work out, you can feel worn out. Reach for core power and rise to a whole new level of recovery. High quality protein to build muscle. The nutrition you need to power on. Champion your recovery with core power.
Piece of defending.
Well, what a great save that was to keep them in there. May just be the impetus they need, as they certainly haven't been at their best today.
Guys, it deserved to end the proper way. And this fraud, who's not fixing the club, at least didn't give the fans that. Give me a W if you agree with what I'm saying here, chat. Like, if you're fixing the club and the club's playing good football, and Ronaldo was a distraction, that's fine.
Well,
Get
it's
him
been
out
a
of here
tight
because
game
you're
so
fixing the
far,
club.
but
You
they've
do this.
just
I
had
get
that little
that.
bit more.
Oh, Stewart,
But
opportunity
you're making
here.
this team play worse football, and you took the fans' happiness and joy of them letting their club legend leave the right way. You took that away from the fans as well. You're taking everything from them. You're taking every piece of happiness from them. Like every piece of happiness. You can't even give a half a competition to Man City.
Well, they need to get tighter here.
I don't know, man. I don't know.
Puta madre, bro.
I
What
don't
the
want to talk
fuck?
about too much anymore, chat, you know? Give me a one if you agree. Let's just move on because United fans think that I'm saying negative things for like their club and I'm attacking their club and this and that.
You and your friends, you
Bro,
and
if
your
you're
friends.
accepting what's happening at United right now, you don't care, bro. You don't want it to get better.
Yeah, give me that. Jordan Morris, what the fuck?
You don't want it to get better. You really don't want it to get better.
Jacko.
Get out my face, get out my face.
Really sound defending.
I would like to apologize to you. You were right about Ted.
Chance maybe.
I tried to back him. I tried to see.
Well,
I
able
tried.
to survive
I
that
tried
attacking
to see
push.
the positive, and I disagreed
gonna
with
be
you
all for
on
the first
countless
half here.
occasions. But you were absolutely right about everything.
What a little bitch.
I finally seen the light of fair play.
Well, that's
I
advantage
just
Arsenal
played.
after the first 45 minutes.
Yeah, they start being
Still a long
blind.
way from being decided
Ese vato
here.
just, I don't know. The hog is just not it. I'm sorry.
Major signings under 10. Anthony, 85 million. Hold on,
Now
72
look at this.
million.
They might be able to
Casemiro,
cash
Oh,
in.
Holland sees when
Martinez,
Casemiro.
56 million.
You just
Hold
can't
on,
get away with shit that he
47
used to get away with in
million.
Madrid. That's just all it is.
From who?
Él sigue jugando bien.
Eric.
Él sigue jugando como él jugaba.
Actually over the top.
Loan.
Wasteful from
Loan.
Arsenal.
Loan.
Well, he's been the standout for his side so far, don't you
Jack.
think, Stuart?
How many
Well,
of
it's
these
been an
signings are
incredible
good?
performance from him.
Go.
Clearly the difference between the two sides.
Højlund,
Obviously the goals, but his movement too. He's causing the
solo
back like
Højlund. Yo
all
no sé
sorts of
quién más. I
headaches.
don't think
He'll
anybody
no
else.
doubt be desperate to grab the hat-trick now.
The only signing I agree with on this entire list,
Now breaking at pace. Potential
Is
danger.
Martinez
Oh yeah,
and
Martinez también.
Holland.
Jacko.
Martinez
Nice
and
looking move
Holland.
this. Surely.
I agree with
back
two
of the net.
signings.
And a
Martinez and Holland.
Martinez.
I don't agree with the
What the
Casemiro signing.
freak is this boy
I
stamina?
don't agree with the Casemiro signing.
Oh, this boy.
70 million for somebody over 30 when you're trying to rebuild your club is not the right answer. It should have been a defensive mid that was younger that will be ready to win with United when United is ready to win. Casemiro's too old. By the time United is fixed, Casemiro's going to be gone.
Substitution here.
In my opinion, should have been a younger defensive mid signing for that type of money. And in 4 years from now, when United is ready to start winning again,
Medina.
He would have been prepared for that role.
Casey McCabe.
Because it's a rebuild just like Arsenal did.
And Palinha with it.
So in my
I comparing y'all to us, y'all not us.
Are the only ones on that list I agree with.
We got rid of our stars, bro. Los que sí queríamos, bro. And we trusted the manager. Y los resultados vinieron, pero hasta después, ¿no? Es que ustedes quieren que pasen las mierdas ahorita. And y'all, everybody's clowning us for being 8th and all that shit. And one good season, yeah, everyone's comparing us to. Nah, bro. Let's see, now I gotta get rid of all them fucking deadweights if they want to be like Arsenal. Because there's way too many deadweights.
Giving it a try. Determined defending.
What the fuck is going on?
I'm fucking winning, bro. I'm on top of the world right now. I'm fucking winning, bro.
Top of the world.
The football world is respecting my ball knowledge, yo. The football world is they're respecting my ball knowledge, bro. Jack, give me a one, bro. If you see it, bro. Yo, come on.
Neymar.
Yo, man.
Tokaji.
To be fair, an American who thinks he's Portuguese and plays FIFA for a living
he thinks. Oh, okay.
Reliable source. And yet he was spot on.
I thought this dude was Portuguese the whole time.
Who the fuck is this guy, bro?
Now Son.
Dang, this dude tricked me. He tricked my ass.
He's Portuguese.
It's got to be Neymar. And denied by the keeper. Impressive.
Is he Portuguese?
Hey, yo.
So a personnel change then.
You calling me speed? I feel like that's a good tweet. Thoughts? I feel like that's a good tweet, bro. He's calling me speed, bro. I ain't faking I'm Portuguese, bro. I am Portuguese, bro.
Okay,
What do you
that's
mean
him to say.
He thinks he's Portuguese. What does that shit mean, bro?
Hey, you a fake
He
Portuguese.
thinks he's Portuguese.
You a fake Portuguese.
I ain't Portuguese, man. I mean, I'm Portuguese.
I ain't Portuguese looking at us.
Will he shoot? The fans hope so.
Hold on, man. Nah, I'm not bringing speed at this. I love speed, man.
So now a
Our
corner.
financial advice can help you save for vacation, retirement, your first home, and more. We're here to
Can
help
someone
you.
get on the end of it?
Bro, gana esa maldita madre, bro.
Discover Vanguard Advice
También se me
Services.
cuesta because everybody has different ways of fucking hitting these centros.
Harry Kane.
Like a different team every time I
For
play.
that challenge.
Tocajin.
Ronaldo.
Espérate.
Marcos with it.
Espérate. ¿Dónde están? What the fuck? What the fuck? That play, what the fuck? No estoy mirando.
Oh, he looks
Shit.
threatening.
Oh shit.
Could
Ahí va
reduce the
igual.
deficit. Oh, magnificent reaction.
Come at me, come at me. ¿Quién quiere correr conmigo? Nadie
Can
quiere
they
correr
hit
conmigo.
on the break? A chance to whip it in. Appear to be in two minds. Son. And it might be. And the keeper more than equal to it. And there goes the final whistle.
Another
And the home
podcast.
fans are going to be happy about
Puro
this
pichi
outcome.
podcast.
Well, fairly comfortable in the end, wasn't it?
There's nothing
Look,
here.
they controlled the middle of the park well. Going forward, there was some really nice incisive play too. It's a good result for them.
Estaban estos vatos. The filthy fellas. Estos vatos. The filthy F5.
Calvin
Boss
Phillips is just a coat. Calvin Phillips is just a coat. They put it into him, he knocks it off, everyone has a go and has a shot. Calvin Phillips is just there like, oh, I'll knock the ball.
One.
This is a coat right here. Ah! Mosh pit. Mosh pit. Mosh pit? You got a mosh pit. Bang! You didn't even know you got shot.
Caracas. Caracas. Right, no. You know what? Fuck it.
You see all that Eastern European stuff, Bosnia and Slovenia and all those.
Sevilla. Mando just said Sevilla.
Don't make that mistake. Don't make that mistake, Miles. You have to be around views. You gotta be very accurate. No. I don't like Serbia and all that little region there confuses the hell out of me.
Yeah, it's very confusing.
It confuses me because I just don't know where they are.
Good evening tonight. The spotlight falls on North London. We find ourselves.
That's American. That's American right there.
Commentator Derek Craig, and sitting alongside me, the former Arsenal, West Ham and Coventry midfield player Stuart Robson, and we're fully convinced this game will live up to its billing. It's Arsenal versus the Velvet Touches.
Thanks as always, Derek.
What the fuck did you just say? Velvet Touches.
That's not good game. It was electric inside the stadium before kick-off, and hopefully we're not disappointed.
Pégale, toma. Qué golazo. Jordan Marsh, you swear, boy.
But you could be landlocked. Say, like, for example, this is Russia. That's just one border. Yeah. Then you could be landlocked by another country. That's it.
And you could be landlocked by 5 other countries.
It could be. Yeah, depends on where your country's situated.
This looks interesting.
That's true. It is what it is.
Can he finish?
You don't know that goal challenge.
Bring
it, just bring it.
Have the lead.
Maybe,
no wonder they're celebrating.
Maybe four landlocked countries.
Right. So I'll just give you one. We're not going to use Serbia, so I'll give you fresh ones.
Right. Splendid tackle and a throw-in coming up.
What's that country? Malawi? That's one.
What Mandom just say? Malawi.
My spirits is Austria.
Wow.
I think so, yeah. Let's go somewhere else. Let's go Haiti.
Well, he stopped him in the
Haiti.
tracks.
Mandom just said Haiti.
How can Haiti be like
Haiti's an island, isn't it? Yeah. Is it?
Well, making considerable progress with the ball.
So it's got
Put
beach
it in
everything.
the centre,
Alright,
unaccompanied.
I'm going to go with...
Oh, that is a majestic goal! Volleying
Finland.
home with precision and style.
Well, Finland's not one of the biggest
Superbly
coasts.
done.
It's a little... There's water. You just don't... Oh, there's water.
There's sea around Scandinavia.
So I've got 2 there, yeah? Austria was correct, and
Certainly
Malawi was
wasn't a
correct.
clean
Oh,
tackle.
wow, that's
And
big
the
distance.
referee's
So
got to
Congo.
book him, I think.
Congo, go for it.
Did he say Congo? No, Congo's land the equator. So it can't be that long. Can't be that hot.
And I'm not
Quita. Saca esa madre aquí.
Well, what an opportunity, but really good defending, you've got to say.
That's why they spent so much. Congo is very nearly landlocked. Actually, it's got a little bit of beach just
This
creeping
attack
up.
looks highly
I
promising.
wasn't sure about it.
Oh,
But Chad's definitely landlocked.
it's like that, but it's got a little
Mada.
sticking out. Yeah. Okay.
Opportunity.
It's only 4 shells.
And a goal! There he is!
It's got 4 shells.
And the double. They just
Oh,
can't
Finland's landlocked.
subdue him.
Ah, fuck.
There's a country in Africa, I think it's called, is it Niger, and is it landlocked?
Did he say? It's Niger.
Niger, yeah.
I don't actually think you pronounce the I to use it.
Oh, lovely ball.
Niger.
in.
Who's Nigerian?
The save was a good one.
No one. But then again, they said that apparently Niger, one country back in the day, but it's
And there's the delivery.
Oh, fuck. What the hell is that?
That area. Area.
Well, the
It
Velvet
is landlocked
Touches
though, yes,
making
you're
sure
correct.
possession
It's
change
landlocked,
hands.
I expect you know better stuff, you know. I scored a lot of African, like, you know what I mean? In the
Well,
army.
no mistake from the keeper, acting
Things landlocked.
decisively.
Dude.
This could be troublesome.
Bro, what the fuck is this hair?
Moderate to severe eczema still disrupts my skin.
Knocked away completely.
Despite treatment, it disrupts my skin with itch. It disrupts my skin.
Fuck.
Chicago?
No, it actually isn't. It's a state, that's not a country. There cannot be a beach in Chicago. I'm little Dirk and I have not gone to the beach.
Well, very effective
Chief
play
keepers
in
never gone to the
possession.
beach.
Well, it takes to nothing in the end.
Is it?
Es la Sosa.
Yeah,
Ah, with the roller. Gola de la Lola.
You're right.
Firing it towards goal.
Fuck.
And a decent
Sorry, yeah,
This is a good game, though.
Happy Halloween, boys.
Oh, man, what's up, man?
And especially happy Halloween to Blunder Taker.
Blunder taker. What is man saying?
Maybe
nicely over the top.
maybe Will I Daz.
Well, the
I'm not even
cross
dressed up, but
a
you
little
better
too
dress up.
deep. Now,
I'm confused.
this is
Who are
the
you?
Will he
Who are
find
you
the
guys?
net?
Who are you? Oh, no, I just told you.
I'm an Arsenal fan.
You can't be Undertaker. I saw him the other day. No hat on next to your foot. Who are you? He's middle class.
Injury.
That's what we said. What we said
Jamie
to you.
Vardy, ¿qué pasó? Jamie Vardy's having a party.
No, she didn't say that. Oh, what did she say that? She told you, you're much better than real life.
That's a good-looking ball.
So I said, so what? I'm a 7? She's like, no, you're 8, but in real life, you're about 12.
Fuck that hell. Oh,
Checo.
Dzeko. That's not even Dzeko.
And time is up as far as the first time is concerned.
Honestly, who knew the football? Who knew the football? No, wait. What? This one.
Well, as they get the ball rolling again, interesting to see how the second half pans out.
And she thinks you were an 8 on YouTube.
First of all, what are you on YouTube?
Let's get to that. Since you're doing push out everything, what are you out of 10? What are you? Who wanna know? What are you called?
And good thinking.
Jordan. Jordan.
Yo, what? Hey, but that's all.
Tobias
Who
Fleckstein.
said you're 8? Who said that? I never. Who did you say 8? No, I said it.
A real opening now.
Who did you say 8? I give him a 7.
Puta madre. What the fuck, man?
Well, it's a really good effort. They just can't get it underneath the crossbar.
You're right.
What are you really want?
I gave up.
We should rate each other.
Yeah, we should.
I think we should. Miles wins, obviously.
Not necessary.
A really good run. Could be. And you cannot argue with
No,
that.
you're a handsome man.
Simply unstoppable today.
Wow. Oh, yes.
I do have a big head. 7 and 5/8 new era.
You know that's 2 miles.
And given away.
Probably about tree.
Why is this not size 7?
I've got a lot of info in there.
Jessica.
Yeah, but wow. So have I. It's just dense.
Mandem said dense.
It's landlocked.
He's got landlocked intelligence.
An effective
That's
challenge.
a big one. Boys, new episode of Revelations out on Friday.
Who's on it?
Oh, what an opportunity.
Steve-O and PK Humble.
Great lineup. I need to find out that scene that
Bro, how the fuck am I gonna kill the chick, bro?
Well, I'm not sure that was the right option. It's a really wasted
You
chance.
know what? Actually, we're going to put a clip in right here.
They've decided that now is the time to go to the bench.
Why does everyone keep pointing their finger at you?
Disappointing for the velvet touches to give it away in that manner.
I've done nothing wrong, so when you don't realise that it wasn't me, you're gonna feel that fault.
Wonderful chance.
That she was watching me,
For the
but
goalkeeper.
man's watching me, man.
When she said nice, I love that. It's not her.
What the fuck?
That was incredible.
It's a good show, man. The crowd have been wondering where Lippy is.
Ah, fuck.
He's got that from getting elbowed in the nose.
That's if you believe it.
Again.
Because, well, if we believe in being able to get from getting elbowed in the
The
nose.
defenders know you
He says
can't
mash
really
up,
allow
you
space
can't
like
walk,
that.
can't communicate.
An
His
important
game
challenge
he thinks that's a
and he's
COVID
made it a
symptom.
brace
I got
for
dry
himself.
That's a light skin thing though. Light skin boys
Defenders just unable to stay with
dry
it.
skin on their nose. So
And
maybe
he's having a field
he's
day.
becoming light skin. Maybe he's bleaching. Have you noticed when the clocks go back? Maybe he
And
was.
Diawara has it.
Yeah.
So what you say? What does that mean?
He got back in, Henna's got back, so maybe anytime he
Good
gets
looking
got back
run.
and gets sick.
That's a nice looking ball.
Yeah, that checks out. Makes sense.
Puta, bro.
The goalkeeper got to it.
Jordy.
Oh, why?
And the
Dead,
substitution
bro.
will occur now.
Cause he got what?
Wait, what?
So Jordy's getting close to the guy on front. Yes.
And played short.
R.I.P. to Matt Perry, bro.
Yeah, Matthew Perry, man. What a way to go in the jacuzzi.
Fuck.
Jacuzzi. Yeah, he's had
Shaping
well
to shoot.
documented alcohol
Nicely
and
blocked.
opioid addiction. So if you're in a jacuzzi and the opioids are hitting you, I can imagine it's a bit. That's sad though. I watched
really
the
good
friends
pass.
yesterday because that's the first friends
Well,
that
that
died.
looked
Come on, there's no fucking outside.
Listen to what he said, apparently they're releasing a joint
Cactus.
statement.
And the play stopped. They will make the change now.
Listen, I'm filthy. Let's not do that.
He said individual.
Oh, when Jordy Olympia, both
Cultural
of them.
analogy
Jordy goes,
here.
just slay it, man.
I know Julie, it might be Mark first.
No, but Jordy's on the stairs right
Oh,
now.
yes, what a
Mark's down.
pass.
I've got my money
Big
that way.
opportunity.
Mark's will come down. He was at a G.
Totally
No, what's that? No, Mark's kind of
Well,
a
he
skip
doesn't
there.
finish
Oh,
it.
about 3 times.
Yeah, like he's skip on the destination. Every year we've got
Tremendous goal.
I'm living up someone's back to the stairs. Tigo was swinging.
No, that was
Let me know.
that was you.
Tigo was gonna go last week. That was Jordy.
Opportunity it is.
You'll get off, you'll get off.
There's a chance.
Fuck.
Oh no. Couldn't beat the goalkeeper.
You see that hockey player? That was crazy.
Oh wow, yeah, that was
Sorry to bring it up.
Adam Johnson, yeah, very. R.I.P. to him as well. There's a lot of fallen soldiers this week.
It was all before the clocks went back on. That whole day
The clock's going back is
Well,
some kind of
managing to beat him. And he's
magical
caught,
things
and the
happening.
referee
It
doesn't
rained
hesitate.
forever all
That
weekend
is a
because the
spot
clock's
kick.
They did, that's true. It's ritual. That's if we got knocked by
Well,
you.
the
It's
VAR
ritual.
just a warning and a fair few protestations.
Well, not every foul is a yellow card. I think the referee is right here.
On camera, and 12 off camera. And you see, I look like and good as an 8 and 12 as well. You can never beat.
She's got bad vision. You know, Specs told me the
Ah.
other day he went to school with Gabby.
I guessed it, but it went the wrong way.
Did you actually believe that?
Yeah, he did, yeah. He said he was in his group for his school friends, and they're talking about how Gabby went to his school. So I looked it up, I said, he's not been to England, Cameroonian salt mines and all this stuff.
Opportunity.
Specs had gone in the group and said, boys, Gabby, yeah, went to our school. They came back and went,
Yeah.
Much to the
Dyson's
sheer
powerful
delight of the
vacuum
fans.
now washes hard floors, continuously using clean water from start to finish. One machine for your whole home. Exclusively with
Well,
heavy
this is a
filtration.
brilliant strike, as
Only
you
at
can see.
Dyson.
He hits it with so much power. The keeper
Anytime
has no
anybody
chance.
asks me, where'd you learn how to cook? I learned from my grandma.
My grandma. I ain't learned nothing from my grandma.
Bad. It's bad.
You thought EAFC heavyweight champions.
And the referee is
She don't live
out
here.
2 minutes of stoppage time.
She's the only thing I got. Todos los otros se me fueron. Lastimosamente.
That's a good pass.
On the right,
And
he's
they
back
could
from
do
Sweden. He brought
damage.
some luggage with him.
Fuck!
AKA Poet's Corner.
Concha de la madre.
Don't need to clap.
Piece of goal. And then we get the final whistle, and the fans will be leaving the stadium with
Yeah, man,
smiles on
Poet.
their faces.
Have no slogan, but the man to my left does.
Hey,
Next on the
good.
panel.
Saw an attack which was always threatening, and they
You're having a bad time over there.
Yeah, just my stuff.
Next on the panel, a man who dressed his era. He dressed like Tinchy Strider. Yeah. He dressed like Kanye West, had the shades. He's flying high. He's on top of the world. He's on top of the world. Mouse Fearon.
AKA the best looking guy.
AKA.
12s. Yeah, right. She lied to you.
Next on the panel, 7 5/8 has been farting non-stop since he got here, by the way.
God damn, what the fuck?
He's one of the 600 people that support a Saudi football team. Yeah. David VNH. Going out Al Ultras.
Who's on that team there?
Let me know.
But don't tell me the name was one. Oh, Mitrovic.
Next on the panel, time's running out. His name is Lumos, aka Lumos7, aka he will show up in the back of the Instagram story. He's got nice teeth.
I don't think we can.
He's got nice teeth.
Did you jealous? No, jealous.
S Cup 7. He went S Cup 7. Did you get your money back for the ticket?
I got the money back for the ticket, yeah.
He bought the tickets. Then he wrote to them to complain that one of them hit the stairs. And said, he hit the stairs. I'm not happy with these tickets. They refunded him. Then he finessed his way in.
And then Arsenal, Eddie and Ketia, doing bits. What's that? I went to the match on Saturday. Oh! That was before S Club? No, I went S Club Friday, match Saturday. Oh, yeah, the good. That's a good weekend. Good weekend, man. What'd you do Sunday? R&B Slow Jams.
Oh, that's a good TK.
I was a cricketer. Dressing like rappers or dressing like gang members, that's cheap. Next on the panel, he's got a freestyle out today.
Yeah, that's right, man. Trying to stop black goalkeepers going in goal. You've sent me a few young black goalkeepers coming through.
You got a new manager.
Move up the pitch, man. Because men move fast.
You know what's funny though? You know what, I thought about this.
Thank you. I love that. You're on my side.
You've been talking about black goalkeepers a lot. Definitely not on your side.
Who's you on the side as well?
Yes! Definitely not on your side, but they said this about black quarterbacks in the NFL. And now all the best quarterbacks are black.
Yeah. There was 2 in the final last year. 2 black quarterbacks.
Next on the panel is this big Daz. The crowd loves him. We limit his appearances because he just sways around the microphone. It's really difficult to edit his on that.
Sorry, by the way, the swaying is also when he walks through a dance of crowded people. Go on, show me one.
Yeah, he does. Yeah.
Me and one just looking like, look at this fool. He thinks it's 112.
And if the beat's going as well, his shoulders will be like.
And you can't stop it. But he had a great weekend. No, Mommy's got actually attacked amazingly. I think he's overtaking you, Miles. Maybe this weekend. Trust me. No, don't be upset. No, trust me. Sometimes you know his faults. No, you've had years. You've had years of buffness. I'm agreeing. Give that a few days, bro. I'm agreeing. Oh my God. I say I'm agreeing. A few days would be nice. Oh my days. You're clapped.
surprised us from big teams this year.
82. Goddamn, what the
I don't know
fuck?
if you lot have been
This is the
concentrating
type of
on
league.
football. I know Vuj has. I know Vuj
Yeah,
has
I think,
been
what the
concentrating, 'cause you know
fuck?
how I know? Because I've known him for 10 years. And he just learned my name.
I couldn't believe it. His name's I've always
10
Tigo.
years. We've been to different countries together.
I thought it was
Is that your
Tigo.
name? I thought it was Femi. What are you talking about Nigerian? I thought it was Femi. That's let's see if he can surprise us here.
Oh, you go first.
That's what player has impressed you most from Tottenham?
I thought Madison better. Madison already was alright. I knew Madison was gonna do bits.
One that no one else would really say.
Yeah, go on. If you're bad.
Van der Min.
Who?
Van der Min.
Who?
What's his name?
Who?
What's his name?
Van der Min.
What's his name? What do you call it?
Van der Min.
What's his name? Yeah, the centre back. Yeah, his name.
You know what's funny about his name? You called it Van der Minutes killed me.
Van der Ven, but I'm saying
Van der Ven.
you call it Van der Ven.
That's close. That's close. It's close enough. It's close enough. It's close enough. Hold on. But how can he surprise you if you've never seen him before?
What do you mean I've never seen him?
Yeah, that is a surprise.
Okay, where was he? Where was he? Wait.
Wait,
Sounds
wait,
good.
wait.
So where was he last?
Yeah, where did he come from?
Where you go? Where you come from? Where you go?
PSV. Is that right?
I don't know.
It's a very good guess as well, you know? It's a very good guess. Mickey van der Ven came from Wolfsburg.
Wolfsburg. Wolfsburg,
Why
yeah.
did you know? You pick Wolfsburg on Football Manager all the time.
I'm gonna say I didn't know. I didn't know about him. But if we're talking surprising for Tottenham, it has to be from ridiculous.
Why?
Surprise.
Because you know it's not
Surprised on that.
It's no, but you know it's because Kane left as well. I didn't expect this. This is too
Disrespect,
much.
bro. He should be 85.
I actually said, I said a year ago that that's who Tottenham should have got, and they were apparently they were very, very close. Yeah, it's on the show.
Did anyone remember this? No, because he always like every episode. And then Tigo calls a lot of things on Arsenal.
And then we did a shoot with him in September that year, and I said to him, Tottenham next year, yeah, and he laughed because that was who they wanted last year, and now they got him. So I'm not surprised.
I've not met this.
You were there.
Oh, okay.
You were there.
T, don't you reckon? I know Van der Ven definitely surprising because Tottenham usually don't get the centre back situation too correct. But isn't like Saar more of a surprise considering the fact that like he was kind of in the side?
He was great. Do you remember that debut against Arsenal? He was Tottenham's best player.
Crazy.
I would say Udogi.
On the left back, he's.
Where was he?
He was in Italy.
Udinese
My surprise,
or Torino?
my surprise. Nah, it's Son.
Yeah, I was gonna say Son as well.
Really?
Why?
Why are you saying so?
Son. I didn't think he could play up top like that by himself. He's done it before.
Nah, but he had a bad year last year, you know.
No, but down
Yeah,
the middle.
this is consistent. He's leading the line. He's the
Madison.
line.
Well, shout out Ross though. Ross in the group did call this out. Ross said the only way that Son will work in the Spurs team is if he plays through the middle.
That was Conte though. That was when he was talking about when it was Conte in charge. Now it's a completely different system. And he's playing up top. I don't think he would have said that because they sold Kane and didn't buy a striker.
Exactly. That's rude.
That is rude.
That is
And then
rude. That is rude. So wait, because when people do like best 11s or combined 11s with team, no one's putting Son up front.
No.
Because they always
Yeah, I think that one.
now he's going up top.
I'll be real, we've got a problem with our top 10s. Because I want to do top 10 left backs, but only 3 of them are actually left backs. I want to do top 10 strikers. How many of them are actually strikers? We're in a bit of a like weird position.
Gender fluid time.
We're in a
Gender fluid.
But it makes sense because Son
What the fuck is this? We're in a gender fluid time.
essentially he's a bit more lazy than when he was on the left team. I don't think
Of
he's
course,
lazy.
no, it's not lazy. He's less work though. Playing up.
Richarlison was working like a dog at left.
And he's awful.
He's awful, but he's working like a dog.
I think he's done some nice stuff. Him and Darwin Núñez just do weird stuff. When it matters.
Richarlison's done nothing, bro.
No, that's not true. He's been good. He's been
This
good.
season, he works hard, he runs.
It's not even that. Sometimes, do you know what? It's on the left hand side. He just keeps it flowing. So sometimes he gets the ball and he'll just lay it off quickly. But Tottenham needs to get from back to front.
So he just
doesn't pass.
He links play really well. Like he's like a target man on the left. But he actually grafts.
Nah, he annoys me because I'm a Tottenham fan now.
What?
No, but I've it's in your heart.
I'm a bit of a Tottenham fan.
Oh my god.
Oh god. Hey, Advert here.
Talk to Frank.
What the fuck
You know
is
why I say that though? Because obviously I know a lot of the inside information over there, and I know like
Illuminati?
I got a friend, Ash. What's that Ash? Not that Ash. He's different Ash. He supports Tottenham, but he was like down when Kane was leaving. He was wrapped. I was like, bro, honestly, new manager, no Kane. It's actually going to be the most fun season you're going to have. Like Tottenham and the team. To me, that if you said from the start of the season, who would you like to watch the most games of? I would probably say Tottenham. Outside of Arsenal, because Arsenal are always entertaining at this point.
What?
Tottenham, I knew going into this season we're going to be exciting.
They're exciting, man. They're exciting. Though. But I've seen this before, though. I've seen Arsenal sell Thierry Henry, not bringing an adequate replacement. What do you mean? Tottenham have been good, though.
Let him get away with that.
I'm not saying I thought they were going to be good.
When people say, "Oh, it's a good thing," "Oh, look, they're playing better without Harry Kane," could you, like, this team? If
Land, let I go, land. I'm not we're here, we're sitting, we're gonna see what on land.
you're wearing a goalkeeper top for one, I can't take you serious, my bro. Just chill for a second.
Score against me, don't it? I'm black, should be easy. I like you.
Mikhailo Mudryk.
They'll be better.
Are these all 85s, 86s? God damn. This is 85, 84, 86.
If they had Kane in this team, they'll be way better, man. You just messed them over.
No, I don't think they would, though.
Apart from last year,
84.
when Conte
Fuck
was
this,
like, let's
no,
just
dude.
make it impossible
Cost
for
too
Son
much
to
for
score.
84.
Son always scored. And they didn't have Madison.
What's
so
that
then,
gonna
so
be?
you got Son and Madison scoring goals now.
84, 85,
That's
no,
the
shit
Kane
either.
replacement. But it's not like that wasn't the replacement last year when Kane.
One Foyt, what do you One Foyt need?
So you think Tottenham?
80,
so do you think
85,
Tottenham's
I'm
got
done
a
that
chance
shit.
of winning the league without Kane
Nah,
in this team?
You said D guy look at us.
06-07, Thierry Henry, yeah? He leaves Arsenal. We finished fourth, comfortably fourth. The following season,
84,
instead of
83.
Arsenal relying heavily on Thierry Henry,
Minimum
we had
two?
Van Persie
What the
scoring,
fuck?
Cesc Fabregas, that was the, like, he's the one side going, man.
Yeah, the team
He's
doesn't
shit.
mean we're better though.
We did. We finished. We on a title challenge. We finished 5 points off the tie.
Yeah, but when we had Henry, we won titles.
So it's a surprise.
86, 84.
I don't think I'm surprised by Madison.
For me, it's Son because I didn't expect him to lead the line like this.
84, what the fuck?
That's not
That's not
surprise.
shocking, no. It's almost surprising everywhere. I think Romero's a big one. Pedro Porro, man.
Pedro Porro's good.
Good.
He was a right wing back, and I remember saying to Tigo, how does he play right back now? Because I only saw him as a right wing back last season. I didn't see how he could.
Oh, could it be
slot in a
Basuma
four.
though?
It could be Basuma. Do you remember in pre-season we watched Tottenham and Pedro Porro was getting in Barcelona? We watched him and he was getting pulled apart. Yeah.
But yeah, surprise though. I knew he was always a good right back. He just needed time.
Nah, I'm not going Pedro Porro. That's not a surprise. Who cares about Pedro Porro? Because he can get injured, nothing changes for Tottenham. So that's not a surprise.
You're saying that Emerson Royal comes in and does what he does.
Of course, they played the other day and nothing changed.
Ah, de MLS.
Pedro Porro, yeah, but you know.
Afuera, todos esos MLS.
You swayed me.
He swayed me too.
You swayed me.
It's when you take him off and Emerson Royal's there, I don't see a difference. It don't make me take my hat off. Oh! I got a trip. So I can take it off. Keep on.
Vicario's been great, but it can't be a surprise because we didn't really know who he was.
But he's a good
Udogie has been a surprise, but you know he was on loan his first Premier League season really, so we can't really say that. Sarr has been good, but I think everyone kind of suspected him as a player there. It has to be Basuma. If only for the sunglasses he wore in Keep Game.
Basuma surprised everyone.
Yeah, I'm not bad at Basuma.
He blanked me in chunks below.
Who?
Oh, that's class. Yeah, it's class. Like looked at us up and down, like I just walked past us. Like,
Why and where?
Us. Us Tottenham.
At the North London Derby. Alright, Lumos.
You don't watch us.
Lumos. Who has been the most surprising player for Arsenal this season?
In the air, get Google Pixel 8 Pro free with eligible trade-in at AT&T.
Say it, man. Just say it. I think he's improved a lot, or he's been able to be consistent enough in the team to show actually not consistent enough. But the performance he's had, he's been consistent with his performances. I'll say Tomiyasu.
I had Tomiyasu because you're left because Zinchenko has been shocking defensively.
I don't care. There's only one, man. Stecker rice, I don't kill anyone toast.
How is that surprising? What, the 100
I didn't see a big pipe. I didn't see Vieira's pipe coming back. I'm seeing Vieira things. I never expected
100 mil
from someone. What? I Anthony cost 100 mil. We didn't see that. You know what I mean? So let's have money.
You expected something.
No, T, I didn't. T, Rice.
Yeah, I expected.
Rice is doing what Bellingham's doing at Real Madrid.
No.
It's the same thing.
Y'all chatting shit, man.
We gotta keep it grounded.
Dude, you're going mad, but you're playing against Grenade.
You played Barcelona this weekend.
My brother, like, man against Barca, crazy. No, but Declan Rice, though, I'll be honest, that performance against Crystal Palace, for example, when we were offensively, we were terrible, and all I kept thinking was, usually Arsenal offensively don't do nothing, but then we concede some stupid goal at the back.
He's doing
everything. He wants to collect the ball from the goalkeeper, then he wants to get the ball off the striker when he's running full. He covers so
he'll be our next
much ground. He's the captain.
No, he'll be our manager in 3 years. No, seriously.
I need to hear a report, by the way, of what he's like outside of football. Because I don't know, I've never heard anything.
Have we met him? We met him at the... Even at last soccer game, he's good friends with Chunks. But he didn't want to chat to him because it was a draw.
Oh, Jorginho's been good this year.
Very good.
Jorginho's been good when he's on.
No, barring that Spurs mistake, he's been good, bro. Barring that Spurs mistake, he's been good.
No, I wouldn't say surprising good though.
He's the Nilsson. He's not Vieira, he's the Nketiah.
Nah.
Got a hat in. That's my guy, man. Eddie.
He's here to surprise me.
I wouldn't say surprised.
I mean, like, he's got that in his locker.
Not just, I'm not surprised about a hat-trick against Sheffield United. And the goalkeeper's black, and this guy's making a whole song about it. That doesn't surprise me.
I'll tell you who's been class. And I think he might be one of the most interesting players in the league. Is Ben White.
Ben White, yeah.
I just think that guy, like, he tried international football, said, no, why? Why? You do this for what? For your country? No, I could be at home.
Chilling.
And you don't even like ball.
You can't dye your hair like that, though, man. You can't dye it. That's Bill Clinton hair, T.
He's the least bothered player for someone who's like ready to fight at all times. By the way, he's the least bothered. Like if he scores, and by the way, he's been hitting some shots. It's getting close to a banger, you know. He's getting close to like.
You know what means
his goal.
He's undateable. Bro, he said that in the last minute. Who did he not make on the sideline? I can't remember it was in one Arsenal game. Doku. He said he not made him at the side because he was tired. He just needed to. It's like this is a guy that's not bothered.
Nah, he's mad. Benjamin White's crazy.
He surprised me because you think that's going to get exposed. Like he was a centre back, he's moved right back, and he felt like it was for necessity last year. The Jury and Timber thing, maybe that's the ease of workload, so they can play 2 fullbacks. Now he's a right back, and he's sick.
I can see Sergio taking his position in February. No, but again, it's my opinion. It's my opinion. Cedric is there waiting. Cedric is there waiting. I've seen wrestlers who heat for a long time, and then they can be.
What is he saying?
Trust me, Cedric's time's coming. I'm telling you.
I just be chatting shit for no reason. Cedric taking his position. What the fuck?
I just want to bring up one player for Arsenal. I think Saka's been pretty bad, bro.
Oh, you think Saka? Odegaard is surprising.
Odegaard's playing with injury.
Oh, of course he is.
I don't think Saka's been poor.
No.
I think the standard for Saka is so high, and he's not there.
It's a goals assist thing. If you watch him play and how he frees, especially with Nketiah against Forest, not Forest, it's Sheffield United. He's only Sheffield United. No disrespect Sheffield United, but you are already Sheffield United.
Exactly.
There's disrespect. You're rubbish.
Pipes and mashed potato.
Saka occupies a lot of attention, and it makes everything easier for everyone else. But I still think he's playing well. I think Odegaard's playing alright. I think everyone's over the top on Odegaard.
100%. And you know what's not helping Odegaard right now is that Madison's getting crazy.
Oh, yeah. Holly, admit it. He's better now?
No.
I'm asking who's better.
I said that.
And who's better now?
I said.
I'm asking you. Who's better now?
Who's better? Alright, well, let me see what Madison does for a full season.
Okay.
I'll tell you who surprised me. Came off the bench this weekend.
Emma Smith-Rowe.
Nope.
He started.
Oh, is it?
You don't watch Arsenal.
You should have been at the game.
Who came off the bench for the last 3 minutes with Moss?
Oh, and then he got an assist.
Mohamed El Neni's back.
What a guy.
And he's got a football team, hasn't he? On EAFC.
Hey, can I ask you a question? Is El Neni and Cedric Suarez, do they like honestly with the coaches and stuff? Because I don't know why they're there.
Did you watch
the whole time?
Man City versus Man United this weekend?
Yeah.
The warm-up before the game. Calvin Phillips is just a coat. They drew it into him. He knocked it off. Everyone has a go and has a shot. Calvin Phillips is just there, like, God. I'll knock the ball.
This is a coat right here. Bushman. Bushman? You got a Bushman? Bang! Even I got shot. Skimmed off his head. No, the camera's full talk. What? What did you just say? Skimmed off your head?
Specs has that CM CSK Moscow for us.
What?
Go on then. Let's go around. Dazza, who surprised you for Arsenal?
I'll say Trossard.
Specs?
Ramsdale.
Now we're talking.
Alright, Nketiah.
Bro, why I didn't give it 86? Now you're gonna get an 86.
As soon as they're knocked off, he's done.
85, what the fuck?
I'd actually say Declan Rice because I didn't expect it.
Thank you, man. Now we're talking.
I don't think it's going to be
That's 2 votes.
Yeah, I had Declan Rice, but
Yes!
but I can't lie. T's kind of swayed me. Ben White, man. Ben White. I'm impressed with Ben White.
You said Ramsdale. You mean Declan Rice?
You know that already. Declan Rice is, for me, the best midfielder.
Alright, then if you're on the fence, then we'll go Declan Rice. Because you're on the fence.
Should we clap? Bruh. Declan Rice, baby.
Declan Rice, we call him half price.
Pipe potatoes. What?
Pipe potatoes.
Is that a remix?
You said pipe
Potatoes. Bare mashed potatoes here.
pipe potatoes. That is a good one. Pipe potatoes.
Who surprised you for Manchester City this season?
Oh, from C. Oh, Alvarez.
Scotty Alvarez.
Alvarez, man.
When does he play 10?
Small striker, second striker kind of thing. He's been good though. He's never not been good.
Yeah, but it's consistency now. And we're seeing it. Like you said, what position does he play? I've seen him playing on the left. I've seen him play the false nine.
Can I say my bad, Cuddy? You know I said you Kovacic's ball in?
Yeah.
I've seen teams like, they're not pressing, but when he gets the ball, they go over there to the ball for him. They kiss their teeth. So I don't think he's balling, man. I don't think he's that good.
But Rice was bullying Kovacic.
I don't think they
I
take
think Kova and Nunes are going to be relevant in the second half of the season right now. Or it's not.
It's not looking good,
They're
bro.
subs. When KDB comes back and my man's there, the best DM in the world. What's his name again? Rodri and Bernardo Silva is in there. Them three.
Has a Doku surprised you?
Yeah,
that's mine.
Yeah.
Coming from the French league. Come on, man.
That's mine. I think he's class.
He hasn't surprised me though.
Why?
Because Pep has utilised like direct wingers and ball-playing wingers for years. It's only last year was the surprise when he got rid of them and said no Sterling, no Sane.
Come on.
Sick though, he's sick. But we knew he was sick. I think everyone knew. I'm surprised if anything that it took that long for him to get a move. And let alone in Manchester City.
He was meant to be Liverpool a year and a half ago, two years ago. He was meant to be Liverpool.
I'm not surprised by him.
It's Alvarez, man. They got him on a steal. How much was he? Like a score?
Never trust Manchester City's transfer fees.
Boys, there was a mommy at the Arab meeting. First time was Haaland. No.
This thingy, she's
Yeah.
She's a City fan.
she actually did look like that.
Again, I think dressing up as football players is cheating as well.
Really?
See, it's like it's a
It's a mommy.
I think dressing up as rappers and football players is cheating.
Yeah. Oh, it's ones that came as them two from Boston Rams. What are they called?
Split style.
Buster Rams and
No, that went too far.
That was
That
was King.
they were what? They changed each other. How can I paddle myself to Lumos and go around with Lumos for the whole night? The whole night. If he goes toilet, I'm there behind you.
I don't know about that.
That's Miles and Taser, isn't it?
Hey, we're there tomorrow.
Taser does his own thing, but he's a whole different man.
I don't know when you asked me that question.
I need you to walk.
So we saying Alvarez.
No, I need him lying down. Lie down.
What? Whoa, buddy. Yeah, I know what you mean. Lying down by that wall.
Yeah, not like that. I don't want you to lie down.
Pipe potato.
For the ones searching for the products you need, Grainger.com is always there for you. Find high-quality supplies and solutions for every industry. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
I hope this reaches people that are getting surgery on their foot or ankle or whatever. This thing's been an
It's been Szoboszlai, but I shouldn't have been surprised because I really like Szoboszlai. But I always thought players that come from Germany and France take a little while to adapt. But Szoboszlai has definitely surprised me. Class, left foot, right foot, the ball to Salah. Although I do think that was Turner's fault.
Turner's got Salah in his FPL.
I don't know if I could say surprised me though because
you knew he's talented.
No, because Liverpool spent last year without midfielders. That was the one they wanted. That's the one they got, and they failed to get all the others. If he didn't bang, then Klopp would be done. Like it would be. So it's almost like he's been amazing, but he had to bang. And
you know what I'm surprised by? Nunes.
What?
He's definitely a shocking striker.
Did you see him? Did you see him yesterday? I don't. Not in the Forest. Matt Turner. He was very good yesterday.
Like that's because of Matt Turner, right?
No, Matt Turner. You know, Matt Turner made some good saves yesterday.
Let me see if Matt Turner follows him. We got to start checking.
Matt Turner, triple captain in his FPL, I'm telling you, bro.
Yeah, I don't know what Matt Turner was thinking there. It's funny because I was watching him thinking, you're playing all right. I'm expecting you to have a stinker. Like, you look good. He's covering his near post, which is normally his weak area. And then out of nowhere, he just lets the ball bounce in front of him. And yeah, just a goal.
Yeah, I know. I was thinking Gravenberch.
Yeah, he looks good in Europa.
Yeah, a lot of Europa. Harvey Elliott. I've not been surprised though because he's so sick.
Harvey Elliott against Newcastle was cold. When he got off the bench.
Let's go Harvey Elliott. The new Jack Wilshere.
But he's not. Then that shouldn't be surprising at all because we knew Harvey Elliott was talented from Fulham days. Went to Liverpool, had a good season, then got injured.
What about Luis Diaz's parents?
Do you know what?
That was a surprise.
I didn't know it was that direct though. I didn't know he could do that.
You don't know what's happened to him.
They got his mum back, right?
Oh, they got him back?
Yeah,
Mum, there's two parents.
But the dad's still there.
Is it? That's good though. I think, do you know, when kidnapping should always be like that. Take the dad. If you're in a kidnapping, you can't take.
No. I'm a dad. Don't take me. Leave me here alone.
Take Podolski, man. I'll work things out from there. Don't take me.
Trent's been good this year.
Man, we've seen it before.
Not surprised.
We've seen it before.
As well. Alisson good, not surprised.
Salah good, definitely not surprised.
Virgil van Dijk,
And
not surprised.
He's played 1 or 2 games. He hasn't really
I mean,
played.
you have to give it to Szoboszlai, really. You have to give it to him, really.
We're not really surprised, but yeah, if anything, yeah, he's stepping up.
How well he's played is surprising. I might go Darwin Núñez. Specs thinks he's played bad. Darwin Núñez has been.
Darwin Núñez has not played bad, bro.
Trying to get Liverpool fans on your side after they tormented me and threw tomatoes outside my door.
You haven't watched him. You haven't watched him.
I said, honestly, I just said.
He saw a clip on TikTok of him hitting the post from an open goal and then ran to Twitter.
You mad man.
Who's better, Richarlison or him?
Oh, Núñez is 20 times better.
You know what's bad, Vooch? It started off with Núñez Haaland. Haaland went full park. Núñez is in front of it.
I don't know if you remember Mark's brought out the 8-pack.
Is it?
Picture of the 8-pack.
Where's that LEG?
Yeah. He showed Rio. He said, Rio, look at this 8-pack. But he ain't quite right. Let's be clear. He should get kidnapped.
He looks like Mulan.
Yeah. He looks like a cartoon.
You can't kidnap him because you have to go upstairs against him.
I don't get him, man. How do you act like that against Newcastle and then just...
Imagine that. God, what's
I don't know, don't get him. But I like him anyway, I think he's a good try.
I think he's class. So who's saying Poe? He's saying Liverpool surprise.
Oh, this is difficult, man.
McAllister's not doing a
Terrible. There's a surprise. There's nothing terrible.
So what's your surprise, man?
I'm gonna stick with Szoboszlai, man. I'm gonna stick with Szoboszlai.
It's no rules.
I like the way how Gravenberch has started this season. I'm surprised by him.
A lot of Europa, but he's sick.
Yeah, I don't think he would keep up with the pace.
Do the plow.
Vooch. Szoboszlai. Fair. Who must Szoboszlai? Specs. Salah. Yeah.
He should be in Saudi Arabia.
Yeah.
So I don't know why he's there, so I'm surprised.
Yeah. Szoboszlai. I would say Darwin Núñez. But yeah, Szoboszlai is class, but again, we had him high fourth best sign of the summer, so we not surprised.
That's awesome. You know the ball challenge. What's his first name?
I don't know his first name.
Dominic. It's Dominic.
There's a K in Dominic.
How much you want to walk? How much you
He's
want to
football manager all the time. It doesn't stall
I ain't played football manager in a minute still.
Dominic's still, yeah.
Alright. Miles, I asked you, Dominic.
Yeah, no, you asked me. You asked me anyway.
Specs.
Gonzalez.
Who surprised you for Aston Villa?
Oh, that's a great team. You're back.
Diaby.
I
I like
I'm
Diaby.
gonna go with
You're too far back.
Oh, sorry. No, it's not because they're doing good and they're hard.
Yeah, go on, so choose a player then.
Do you see Ezri Konsa?
I do like Leon Bailey, you know.
Terrible.
Shouldn't be surprised.
Leon Bailey, you should be surprised.
What? You shouldn't be surprised. Look, come on, yo. Lumos, yo.
Leon Bailey came with high expectations, but this year, he's like the guy.
He has to be consistent, but he's had injuries.
T, I got it. Boys, I got it. It's Douglas Luiz.
Yeah.
It's Douglas.
Not surprising though.
Goals! Didn't see that, T?
He scored more goals last year.
Oh, I think he scored like 7 in a row or 6 in a row.
Remember Arsenal, you know?
Yeah, I know.
So he's surprised by it.
Are you surprised by Douglas? I'm not surprised by him.
He's bossing games. I didn't see that. Bossing games. Midfield to a different level right now.
Like, I don't know. I liked him when Arsenal were linked to him last season. I used to watch him. I used to go, yo, this guy's good. Maybe goals weren't something I saw, but it's still not surprising.
Okay, let's drop the nail in the shed.
Go on. What shit?
Ollie Watkins.
Yeah, you know, that's it.
Because bro, a man is actually looking at the best striker in the Prem right now.
Every type of goal you want.
It's not what he's playing better than Haaland.
Oh yes, yeah, he is. Yeah, Haaland's just at the end of the move, but
He looks better than Haaland when he plays well. Haaland, the way Haaland plays, is one of the most.
Ollie Watkins was last week. Arteta was linked to him as well. Arteta said he wanted him. Yeah, he's good, man. He's good. He's looking like he's going on that plane. He's good, man.
Do you think John McGinn's been good though?
John McGinn. The problem is
What's the problem with him?
you know, man,
He's head shape, isn't he?
as a kid, I must have all white kids have got big heads. Poet changed the phrase and said, no, there's black people too. So
Yeah, my kids
all
have got big, massive
heads,
heads,
but
man.
kid,
Very
I need a picture from you from when you was like 10 months old and how you came out. I need to know how. No, I need to know how. The legs need to get cut open.
Could have been a C-section.
It could have been an E section. I think McGinn's bossing the midfield more than Luis though. I think that's McGinn's midfield.
Nah.
I see McGinn on the wings.
But McGinn's been doing that for seasons, though. I'm not surprised.
I think they were edging him out.
They was edging him out.
What about Ramsey? Not Ramsey.
Ramsey, yeah.
Jacob Ramsey, but last season he was great.
Yeah, that he played a pass this weekend over the top, like inch perfect.
I'm seeing this midfield as a Villa. I don't really see no one holding though. What are they doing? And no one's sitting. There's no one sitting back and playing in front of the back four. They're all going forward and grabbing goals.
Where's tomorrow? I haven't seen.
Because it's Ramsey, McGinn, and
Luis.
Yeah.
But it's like they're all like advanced.
Why isn't Kamara?
That's bad. Memory's a G, boy. He's better than Arteta, bro.
I said to you at the start of the season, Aston Villa and Newcastle were two sides I was scared of because of the signing. Zaniola, good signing.
I do think they will drop off. I think they'll drop off. I hope they don't, but
I don't know, man.
I think they'll fight.
RB.
They'll fight
What's
for
up,
top
player?
Warm welcome to you from the Emirates Stadium. My name's Guy Mowbray. Delighted to be joined by Sue Smith for commentary.
I don't think Villa are dropping off as well.
Yeah, control on the way. It's Arsenal, and they take on the Queens.
Cheers, Guy. Well, it's a pleasure to be here, and I'm anticipating a good game today. The coaching staff have done all they can. Now it's about taking it onto the pitch.
I don't respect people that put
In public. Yeah, I know what's really.
Here's the lineup
You
for
got a
Arsenal.
fast for spelling that
Yeah,
nonsense,
they're playing a
man. Let's keep that spot
4-3-3.
over there.
The front
Now, you're
three
an
need
elite
to
guy,
link
man.
up well and make sure the central
Master
striker
does.
isn't too isolated. If it's on one side, can the other winger cut?
I
Referee
think
spots the
every team's
infringement.
obviously they've got
Free
Europe,
kick
but
to
every
come and a
team's
real
generally
opportunity this.
getting their own heads a bit in the league.
No, I think he's got this season, man.
Well, got what though?
Top four.
Top four.
You think Villa's got top four?
Yeah, I think they got it. I said it with chest. Who else there? Top four. What's in that top four?
And it's
Who else?
been
Puta.
kept out, and pretty well
They
too.
thought he's finished
Wasn't a
third.
bad effort.
I reckon.
Now what can they
And
do
Arsenal
from
has
the corner?
So you think they're going to finish above Liverpool?
Yeah, I think Liverpool fall off. Yeah, Liverpool fall off
Problem
before
at
Villa.
all in keeping that one out.
Yeah, 100%.
What are we doing? Have you seen Liverpool's attack? They've got like 6 demons up front.
Well, you don't talk money, man. You're not getting paid. You're
Grealish
boys.
is not
That's
only
an
very
easy bet.
skillful,
That's
but
rubbish.
he's
I don't
strong
even
as
think it's
well.
money,
He
it's an
takes the
insult.
knocks.
It's like wearing that hat.
What's he going to give us today?
Terrible.
Well, it's just how good he is on the
I
ball.
can't.
But
Let's
when
put that
he
score in
glides
it.
past
I know.
players, he can go in the
I don't wanna
inside
take
or
money.
the
Easy money.
outside.
What about
And then
Mancash?
And we have an
Alright,
away
great.
goal
Mancash
for the
is
opening
elite.
goal. It's
He's not
1-0.
telling though.
Who said he's bully?
What's he got to do? What's that good at
And
anyway?
we're back
Talk about
underway
real left
at
backs and
1-0.
real right backs.
Matty Cash is a real right back.
Yeah, but he was getting shunned up the side in the summer as well. So how he's managed to get back in it and do what? I'm so confused.
He's just going.
I can't imagine him being like
Oh, excellent vision. What a chance
Bro,
here.
Villa got depth. I told you, man. This is
Oh,
you don't
this
pull
is
it out.
the game.
Brother, don't pull it out.
This is the game
Don't
of
pull it
every
out.
country
Don't pull it out.
started after the
Don't pull it
last
out.
one.
Nah, above Liverpool. Are you mad? Do you want to bet back?
Who's their second striker team?
Alright, let's keep it 30.
They've got
Jorginho.
Oh,
Cristiano
John
Ronaldo.
Durant, he's got that one, 2
It's
seasons
a
or one.
positive looking move.
Jojo's got 4 goals all comps.
Not
God, who's the
far
surprise
away.
of the Villa team
Not
that
far
does?
away,
I'm
guys.
saying
They're
Watkins.
certainly giving their all. They're really pressing
Dad,
to get a goal,
we got
and that's
this.
close.
How did you get to?
Respects.
I mean, if you're going to start pre-season with a camera on your chest, it's got to be double
That
scout.
was class.
Yeah, that was we enjoyed. That was
Being afforded plenty of room
Was
wide.
it Tielemans that had that? It was Tielemans.
And it's on now. And there's his second of the match, leading the way for the team.
Tap in Douglas Luiz. He had a camera.
Oh, there was
3-0
two.
as
There
the
was more
game
than one.
restarts.
There's more than one then. Fair enough.
No, there's only one. There's only one.
Oh, is it? Wait, hold on. Wait a minute. The camera was on Tielemans.
But you're watching Douglas Luiz.
Ah! I thought it was Douglas Luiz's camera.
Lovely incisive ball.
Hold on, that stinks.
And they
You're telling me I'm
score
wearing a
again.
camera.
It's
but
become a
I'm showing
question
you.
of just
So
how
the viewers
many
gonna
they'll
think
get.
it's about you. If you can't see me.
So the lead now 4-0 as the game restarts.
I'm a viewer. I'm a
Martin
viewer.
Ødegaard.
So if I'm seeing Tico the whole time, like the camera's on specs.
And they must keep the ball a little bit
So when
better.
you're playing a computer game, Grand Theft Auto, is the Grand Theft Auto about the passion of the people?
When I play the white vest, these trousers.
It's a bad example because it's not first person.
They're not trousers. They're not jeans. They're not combats. They're just.
Delivered into the box.
I'll know it's Luis.
It's saved. Magnificent from the keeper.
That was a great
Yeah, I
save.
get
It's
it.
so
Miles?
close to him. His reactions are quick, and that's really good goalkeeping.
Leon B.
Leon, man.
Defensive work to do
I'm
here.
gonna go only got kids as
Hit
well.
that
It's got
from
to be
miles out.
But Douglas Luiz is there because he's sick.
And
And I don't
into
know
the
why
penalty
I'll
area.
go back for him after he failed again.
You know that's got blood nose.
Okay. Alright, we'll do two more teams quickly.
Views, give us more. I'll go blood nose. Give us more. Can we do Man United?
We're going to do Brighton first.
Wind. He can't smell it.
Specs, who's surprised now?
Oh, I think
Better on the
Miles,
ball
who's
than that.
surprised you at Brighton?
The little midfielder in there.
Looking good. Now what comes
Billy
next?
Gilmore. He's surprised. He's stepped.
But
Dan's
Dan's
already
told
told us about Billy Gilmore. He's stepped.
Still the chance might come.
He's bossing at midfield now.
Yeah, he's bossing
yes.
there because he's not bossing a
That's
lot
how
of
to
other
make
teams.
your
Yeah, but
mark.
he's doing good.
Game
He's
one,
stepping
a debut goal.
And they don't even look like
So the
they
ball
miss
rolling again. It's only been rolling one
They
way
look like
in
they're
this
missing
first
Kaiser
half.
and McAllister.
100%.
Not really, man.
There are games where they've been absolutely
Pedro.
flattened in midfield.
Probably
for
Kaiser.
What the
fuck?
I'll take that Kaiser. Not so much McAllister.
I think Estupinian has a shout.
He's one of the best. He's one of the best.
Yeah.
He's been out for a minute, you know.
Estupinian. Estupinian.
Oh, the left back.
What a chance here.
Oh.
Ferguson.
No,
Must be.
not Ferguson.
And that was mightily close.
Oh, it's a great
I was
effort.
thinking
Lots of
we
things
should have
over
got
the
Mr.
keeper, but puts a bit too much power on it.
He's
It's
busy, isn't he?
unlucky.
Yeah,
I know instead of Jesus, I don't remember that.
I
Ødegaard.
want to take him over Jesus, but I'll take. You can play.
I'll take anyone over Jesus, but yeah.
Pedro.
I'm gonna go with. I like that Pascal Grob guy as well.
Could be a chance.
Good old T spelled Grob.
But what is that letter? What is it?
Nah, legit. What is that there?
What is that?
That brings to a close.
He just got his first cap the other day.
Oh, quality. That's quality.
Who's the Australian that's in there midfield then?
Moy.
Off we
Is
go.
he still there?
There's an
Second half
Australian that's in
underway.
there.
Aaron Moy. March is English. It's Aaron Moy. Is Moy still there?
Aaron Moyes, there we go.
What, didn't he go
There's
Huddersfield?
Moyes, there's Moyes. There is an Australian that played for Brighton, right?
Yeah, Aaron Moy, yeah.
What? This is bad. No, but there was an Australian that played for Brighton, right?
Did Aaron Moy play for Right, he did, didn't he?
At Brighton, boys.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Aaron Moy.
Yeah, I'm thinking of Aaron Moy, right?
Yeah.
The ball-headed guy.
Under
Yeah,
no
he was
real
good,
pressure.
Hold on a minute. No. Are you going to get away with
Another
this?
goal
Wait,
here.
Moy was at Huddersfield.
He's at Huddersfield. He's at Huddersfield.
Right, he plays for Celtic. But he retired. No, his last cup was Celtic in 2023. I don't know if he's retired.
Been plenty to
But since
admire
then,
in
he
the
went
display of
Shanghai
Jack
Boys.
Grealish so far.
Right, so who's most talking about?
Aaron Moy.
It's
Aaron
been
Moy.
a good half for him.
He's talking about Aaron Moy.
Recovered
No,
his finish,
Facts,
but
I am
he's
talking about that guy.
maintained and
Australia,
taken
are you
to his
talking about him?
performance.
Why are you
If he
talking about him
doesn't
now,
keep
though?
that going in
Do
the
you remember
second
we were
half,
Virgil van Dijk? We were Virgil van Dijk.
Well,
and he
a
had to name an
decent
Australian
effort,
player. And he went
but not
Aaron Moy.
quite the contact he was looking for, and it's
Celtic.
comfortably wide in the
Virgil
end.
watches Celtic. But I was like, right, I ain't thought of Aaron Moy for time. You think he still plays for Brighton?
I thought he was in there. But no, it's Grove, obviously. G-O-R.
You know what? Crowd, remember, landlocked.
Waited beautifully.
He might. I just
And
want to be
two becomes three as he completes his hat-trick.
He's a
A
good player, but why are we
superb
talking about
performance.
Aaron Moy? He left Brighton in 2020.
Right, what about the guy that I think's better than Arsenal?
Jorginho.
Matoma.
Did you say
He's not.
I think he's declining.
Yeah, he's not getting it.
It's not declining, it's more games. It's more games.
It's not just more games. It's not having Caicedo.
Yeah, it's got a different side, man. Surely, man. No.
Rice.
Why? He's not surprised me. Why?
I think Matoma's similar to like when he was describing Saka.
What about 1 2 league?
stopping him there.
Because
Oh, great chance. Oh, that's fabulous from the goalkeeper.
Yeah, it is. What a fantastic save that is. It shows great power and agility to get to it. Certainly one for the show reel.
I don't know what to do double days.
Here it
I just know
comes.
double, that's all I know, man.
Puta.
Not the easiest of saves, but
Nah, man, you come to
I don't know what last
be surprised. It's like the ultimate wonder kid.
No, I'm not saying he's doing
play
good.
will be a throw now.
I'm surprised he's doing bad.
What is the situation difference?
Oh, worth a shot.
Bright block. Bright
More than comfortable for the man in goal.
Van de Heck, Van de Heck. See,
Odegaard.
bright. You know, like Hulk, like, you know, not the real Hulk.
Arsenal regaining possession.
Hogan.
Like Swedish blood.
I am a real American. Oh.
But we all know who the role defender is in that team.
Who's? Duck.
No,
What a mate.
it's a boss. He was starting as a boss. But who is it then? He's not surprised.
I'm going to jump into
Nicely played through.
the busyness. Traffic.
And the
It's traffic.
keeper more than equal to it.
That's what you're saying, Ferguson. You're saying, Specs, you're saying,
He's kind of falling off a bit though, isn't he?
Who, Ferguson? Man. Got to be strong in the
Turn
defense.
around in
Got to be
possession.
strong in the defense.
Excellent
Come on.
positioning.
We're going for lunch, my man.
Specs, what you saying? For Brian?
Oh, great work. What's next?
Ferguson, man. Is it?
One
Why
more
not surprise
to the
you, though?
total. And there's no sign of him stopping there.
He scores.
He's got a good goal this weekend.
Are you surprised? Are you surprised?
Yeah, because he's consistent. He's, you know, he's a what?
18.
Sorry, he's made his pick. Everyone knows that's a no-no.
You know, it's like,
Specs, what you saying?
don't eat me, I know. So you can pick. You flattered all this, man.
Specs.
But I don't know ball, man.
Havertz.
Hurry up, man. Hurry up. Let's go back to you. Let's go back to you.
Can he finish?
Get someone else sometime,
Goalkeeper
man.
more than ready for it.
It'll be weird for time.
You out there a little bit. I can't be just like a pastor, man. Sit down, peace.
Delivered into the box.
Master Moshpit, you know.
The danger's
Specs,
still
who's
there.
yours?
And he's being urged to shoot. And that will ease any defensive
It's man, I
worry.
can't be laughing at this show, kidding me, that's what I'm saying. One's over there as well.
Ronaldo. To Odegaard.
We'll talk about that next week.
Counter looks on here.
Jump
Options
Pedro.
available.
Lumos, your name is Lumos. Yeah.
Oh, they were getting interested there, but not anymore.
I don't know. Go on.
I'm from English Motion Brown.
Yeah, of course, yeah, you watch much football.
Like the taste of fresh apples? At Angry Orchard, we use real fruit from our 100-year-old orchard.
Ronaldo.
And 2 apples in every
Rafael.
bottle of Angry Orchard. So relax with a
Decent
crisp
stop by the
Angry
goalkeeper.
Orchard hard cider. Madly refreshing.
Into the box it goes.
For one.
Nice
That's
change.
how to clear it.
Nice change.
That's all. I like this.
For another
That's
corner.
all. Keep going, guys. Keep going, guys.
After the first 5 minutes, this has got now.
And the goalkeeper does what he's there to do.
Oh, you don't know what's going on.
And they go again with another corner. Well, it was looking good, but ultimately nothing doing.
I'm gonna stick with Gilmore.
Yeah, it's a good shout.
I'm going João Pedro. It surprised me pre-season.
It's going to be sharp, Pedro, but I would have said it's stupid now.
I've won this one.
Goes on
That's
past the
stupid, that's
defender.
good class.
Right here, I don't know who in it, so let's keep it to the next one.
It's a fact, though.
Alright, cool.
Hey, bro, get your elbow punch here, though.
And it's all over.
Gaza,
Happy faces
in a positive
right
way, who's
around the
surprised for
ground.
Manchester United? Well,
Wasn't it? They looked so
I'm
confident
right
in
here,
attack.
Gaza. Gaza, I'm
Every
right here.
time
Come
they
on.
went-
Back to the microphone as well.
I'm right here, Gaza, come on. Let me think.
This is an audio show. We need some words, Dazza.
Let me think. You don't know
It's a bit of a tough one.
Miles.
No, maybe.
You get it, gentlemen's. 3.
T, I got it.
Poison. Poison.
Yeah.
He surprised you in a positive way. No goals, 100
No, he's got a couple.
in Champions League against
Yeah,
Galatasaray.
that's
Yeah.
enough, though. Still. I like what I see.
I like him, but he's
fast,
surprised.
strong. Can I give you a player?
Go on.
Scott McTominay.
Yeah. He's. You
See,
know the thing about
he's disrespected.
No, but
he's disrespected.
you know the thing about Scott McTominay is, and like he's good, yeah. He's calamitous when the ball's in the box, in his own box,
And it works.
he gives away a lot of handballs,
But
fouls.
I don't mind if you're doing it on both boxes, like for us and against.
I don't think he's calamitous in
I don't mind.
opposition box. He's like a predator. He bangs in opposition box or outside.
How
of the
about
box.
barring that embarrassment on Sky with Gabriel Jesus? I would say Dalot surprised me a little bit this season.
Yeah.
He's been probably one of their most
class.
consistent.
Dalot has been very good.
He's been pretty good.
But let's be honest, boys. We know the answer. Go on, Mal. Say it.
Oh, Maguire.
What? Maguire's been good. I don't think he's been bad.
I know you want me to say Johnny Evans.
watch him this weekend? He lost. Oh, he lost. They all lost, Miles. No, he lost.
Now, Johnny wasn't bad, you know. Johnny wasn't bad, bro.
That was 3-0. Yeah, but look at the goals.
Okay, but I didn't see the goals, but Haaland, he couldn't stop Haaland, you say?
No, Haaland's got a penalty and he's got a back post header that Lindelof was for some reason marking the wrong side.
Where was Lindelof?
His left back.
Left back.
No, where was he when that goal went in?
Marking the wrong side of Foden for some reason.
I was so confused. I was like,
so free,
bro, that's all Lindelof's fault, bro.
He was so free. I didn't leave him free at the back post.
What doesn't matter about that?
He should have two man marking him on his knees.
McTominay. It could be out that. I think I'm still alive.
Yeah, but he wasn't good though. I thought he's very slow, but he was good in that. He was good in that first half yesterday. Just in terms of his position and spacing.
I'm saying stop. McTominay or Dalot. There's nobody else.
Maguire. Well, it's surprising, you know, Johnny. It's not
What, the
surprising.
free transfer who was on trial this summer?
You can't be surprised.
That is definitely a surprise.
When Stoke come back after marrying Deborah, was that a surprise?
Was he on trial?
Yeah,
But
I
before
guess.
he married Deborah, he was still class.
I want them to see you.
He was sick, so we'll come back to seeing this. It's not
They
a surprise.
Stone Cold do a month of pre-season hoping for a contract.
I broke my neck. That's what he said. And he came back even stronger. Podcast now?
Broken skull sessions.
Broken skull sessions. Wicked podcast.
He should grow the hair back, man. Go joking.
I love that podcast.
I think Onana is now at the other end of like people making fun of him. Now people are hyping up a lot of stuff that is very simple.
That save
He
yesterday.
made a couple of saves yesterday that I thought were very.
But let's be honest, he's that confident. Let's be honest. Even though he's made mistakes, he's still been good. Like, let's give the black goal. No.
I'll be real. I like Onana. He ain't been good.
Give him one. We got him again. Maybe a black goalkeeper. Oh.
No, but I thought that save was good though, the Haaland save, because usually when it comes across like that, I thought Onana was diving to save it at the near post. I think he was thinking he's going to aim for the post that's directly in front of him. He went in the other direction, so he kind of, I think Onana, that was a decent save.
I think there's a couple right at him that he made look really special.
Boys, behind Marks and Geordie's back, for United to not have no surprising players is a slip.
Oh, there's lots of half-day games this year.
There's no excuses. They should be suspended for further. We've never done it before, but we might have to suspend Man United fans.
It's Johnny Evans, man. The fact that they got this guy in out of nowhere.
And he's making Maguire look good.
He's doing all right.
Have you got?
I'm surprised.
Have you got to see my bad?
Never. Because I think
You just suspended him last.
yeah, he's all about. He shouldn't be there.
But so why
That
that?
just shows how poor Man
shit,
United
I take that.
is. What, they got the 35.
It's not my bad, no. Because he's taking some pride back.
Yeah, I'm surprised.
Marks is off camera right now with a hangover. Can I just ask a Manchester United fan, Marks, who's Man United's most surprising player in a positive way? No, it's not. Yeah, go on, Spot, here it comes.
Bro, you can't come into the ring like that. Music's going off. I don't even want this tune.
He's got a chair. I ain't even trying to back it like that. Marks, if you had to pick a positive player for Manchester United to see this come as a surprise, who would you say it was?
That's a surprise.
You've been on holiday.
You look good, you know. Like your skin is glaring.
He's been spray tanning, by the way.
Right, this is audio, like Chico said, this is audio, so you need to push it for answer. Why are you saying that to me for?
He's shocked, you know. He's shocked a month.
It's always me, brother. You look like the overtaker. What's wrong with you? Like you said that he's fine. I don't want to stress up. It might be Dalot, you know.
Yeah.
It's been cool. It might be Dalot. He's been alright.
And play both sides, isn't it? Left that right.
I don't know why then. You know what? I don't want to.
No, Lindelof, yeah.
Yeah, because Dalot can play left. Like, and Reguilon was there, but
Reguilon was the best. Forget
yeah, I don't want to do it.
Why isn't Varane playing today? It's tactics. That's what the manager said.
Tactics.
What?
Yeah.
You know what? Ten Hag, he needs to go and see a
You know what
psychiatrist.
hurt my heart? Because that quote that's going around, is it real? When they're saying, how come you don't play at Ajax? He's like, we're never going to be able to play at Ajax, ever. Because we ain't got the players. I'm like, what? Didn't we buy you to play football like
Ajax are bottom of very busy, by the way.
What? They lost 5-2 to PSG on the weekend. They got
What? Alright, he's saying Dalot as Man United's surprising player, positive. Dazzle, who do you think?
I'm saying Holland. I'm sticking with Holland.
Holland.
who? Hoyland.
Holland.
I heard that Holland because even though he ain't scored in the Premier, whatever,
He has big first halves.
He's been decent and the potential's there. So, and I didn't know what to expect him to be. So
So you're surprised then? 7 games, no goals, no assists. Yeah, you're surprised. In a positive way. He scored goals. You just want to isolate to the league. He's not going to do that, but he scored goals.
Alright, let's isolate to the league.
Alright, that just suits the rubbish narrative.
You needed a striker for however many years. You got one. He ain't scored. I like him, and he has good first halves, but the manager keeps taking him off and this guy, he's run out of things to do.
He's a good second choice striker. He should have been what you're bringing off the bench.
Just to crowd, you know, because you always say that we slander Man United when we talk about them, but you're not backing. You're not backing, so...
No, they don't have weapons.
They don't have no weapons.
They're finished, man.
They just think it's slander.
They're all arguing with each other about should the manager get sacked. Now that's all they're doing. Like, oh, we ain't got no money to buy anyone. We ain't got money for a new manager. Oh, we can't do this all over again. How can it be the manager's fault every time? It can. It can be the manager's fault every time. Ask Gareth Ainsworth. It can be the manager's fault every time.
Look like a broken man. You're broken?
I don't want to do filming no more.
Lumos, who you saying?
I'm saying Maguire.
I said Scott McTominay.
He's been good. You said Scott McTominay.
He can't be surprised. He already said he's world class, so that.
Who? McTominay?
Maguire.
Oh yeah, facts.
Go ahead.
I never said that.
I said you said he's better than Marquinhos.
No, I said if I said if Marquinhos is elite, Maguire's elite. And let's be clear, is Marquinhos elite space? Marquinhos is shocking. Thank you. I hate him. Miles, who's your Man United surprise?
Yeah, it has to be Evans, man. You've got a 35-year-old doing stuff for you.
Yeah, he's sick.
I'll go with Dalot, man.
It's Dalot. It's definitely Dalot. Although Evans in 3 games time is going to be Evans.
You know what you're about that there?
Yeah, that's fine.
You slandered Johnny Evans, and now you're swiping the line. I love it.
Yeah, but if you slander someone and then you look at the performance and you go, this is surprising. If anything, he's got more reason to be surprised than anybody else.
That's fine. Say my back. No, because you're surprised.
You say Miles is in the tip drill video.
Why are you not surprised? Because he's old. Johnny Evans. Why did you say you lot? Why did you make it
Johnny
plural?
Johnny Evans was good or decent at United.
Say Miles.
Then he left and went to Leicester. He was good the whole time there. But Maguire was he was good there too. Good the whole time at West Brom.
What is the question?
Why are you not talking to Miles?
What's the whole...
He's always been good. He's just a bit old.
Surprising that they're their best player.
You got him on trial, and you waited a month, and you waited till the very end to even hint that you were going to sign him. That's a surprise.
Johnny Evans playing like Johnny Evans.
No, that's surprising.
It's only take rates him. There's only one man that would debate him.
It's surprising that the manager was asked why he's playing instead of Varane, and he said tactics.
Oh, it's surprising he's there.
It's a surprise how good he's been, because he's playing for Manchester United. And you said Dalot, it's Diogo Dalot. He's been sick. I really like him. That was one of his biggest haters. So, my bad.
Whoa! No. That was a round of applause.
Done one. Minutes of blues.
Filthy5.com. Thanks for coming.
You're an idiot, you know. He chopped my chair back so I can fall.
Happy Halloween, even though Halloween was yesterday, and who cares about Halloween?
I do. Ain't no point like that.
Subscribe to the channel. Thanks for coming. Revelations out Friday.
Damn, they ain't gonna sleep. Akina, fais-moi. Akina.
Today, we're talking about Israel carrying out an airstrike on Gaza's largest refugee camp, with a recent and shocking rise in homeschooling exposing, why the internet's going after Selena Gomez's throat. We've got to talk about all the misinformation we're seeing around fentanyl and weapons of mass destruction. We're talking about all that and so much more on today's brand new, extra-large Philip DeFranco show. You daily dive into the news, so just make sure you're subscribed and let's jump into it. Starting with huge international news. Israel carried out an airstrike on Gaza's largest refugee camp today, with the IDF claiming in a statement, IDF fighter jets acting on ISA intelligence killed Ibrahim Biari, a commander of one of Hamas's battalions, and they said he was one of the leaders responsible for sending terrorist operatives to Israel to carry out the murderous terror attack on October 7th. And saying with that, numerous Hamas terrorists were hit in the strike. But then at the same time, you have Gaza's health ministry and the director of Gaza's Indonesian hospital saying this strike killed and injured hundreds of people. And CNN reporting, the head of the nearby Indonesian hospital where large numbers of the dead and wounded have flooded in, estimated that scores had been killed in the blast, saying the hospital is the nearest major medical facility to Jabalia and is one of the most damaged in Gaza due to multiple strikes in the vicinity. Going on to report, videos from the hospital showed a long line of bodies lying on the floor of the hospital, as well as large numbers of wounded people, including children, as doctors rushed to treat their injuries. So regarding civilian casualties, with what's being said and what's being justified with all of this, it sounds like it's only going to get worse. Right? Because, for example, you have reporting saying Israel's Defense Forces spokesperson Lieutenant Colonel Richard Heck told CNN's Wolf Blitzer on Tuesday the Hamas commander who was the target of the airstrike at the refugee camp was hiding as they do behind civilians. So when Blitzer asked them about innocent civilians in the refugee camp, he responded,
"But you know that there are a lot of refugees, a lot of innocent civilians, men, women, and children in that refugee camp as well, right?"
This is the tragedy of war, Wolf. I mean, as you know, we've been saying for days, move south. Civilians are not involved with Hamas. Please move south.
But again, with that, critics saying, how are they supposed to receive that message? How are they supposed to get to somewhere safe where even refugee camps are being bombed? Because whether Hamas is lying or not here, right, they claim that their leader wasn't actually in there. Innocent civilians died, or died's not even the right word, they were killed. And this notably is we're seeing things like a UN human rights official leaving their job over what he called a genocide in Gaza, one that he says that the UN has failed to stop. And with that, accusing the United States, the United Kingdom, and European countries of giving political and diplomatic cover for Israel's atrocities. So we need to be able to talk about these horrors without someone saying, hey, when you criticize Israeli attacks, that's somehow anti-Semitic. Because we talked about anti-Semitic issues that are on the rise that are very concerning yesterday. These are not the same two things. But ultimately, that is where we are with the situation right now. Of course, it is all still developing. We're waiting for more details to come in. But in the meantime, of course, I'd love to know your thoughts here. And then, a chunk of the internet is pissed off at Selena Gomez right now. Because over the past month or so, we've seen a ton of big names speaking up about Israel and Palestine. Some getting praise, some getting backlash, some getting, honestly, both. And for a while with that, people have been upset that Selena Gomez hasn't said anything. Because with 430 million followers, she is the most followed woman on Instagram. She has spoken out about other crises before, with people pointing to Ukraine, gun violence, mental health, and more. So you had this growing group frustrated that she was staying silent on such a major global issue. And that ultimately leading to her last night addressing that with a statement that has only now made people angry. Writing on her Instagram story that she has been taking a break from social media because her heart breaks to see all the horror, hate, violence, and terror. Adding people being tortured and killed or any act of hate towards any one group is horrific. And saying we need to protect all people, especially children, and stop the violence for good. I'm sorry if my words will never be enough for everyone or a hashtag. And adding she just can't stand by innocent people getting harmed. It makes her feel sick. And then closing with, I wish I could change the world, but a post won't. So a few hours later, she followed that up by saying that having a little sister has made her tragically sick and she would do anything for children and innocent lives. And so with that, you had a number of people livid with that statement saying things like, she is downplaying her massive following and being hypocritical. If a post can't help change the world, why call yourself a philanthropist? Why post about mental health, BLM, women's rights, American elections, etc., etc.? So you're saying, shame on you, Selena Gomez. You have 430 million followers, yet people with less followers be doing so much more. Our voices are being
gives a fuck.
We're just ignorant. People saying there's so many people she could inform. A post will make a difference. And arguing this is why I'm annoyed when celebs make a neutral statement. They do it only because of communication, not because they genuinely care. Some also accusing her of liking Zionist posts from Amy Schumer. Others calling her a coward, saying she's
Amy Schumer. Why the hell are you following Amy Schumer?
Posts have been completely taken
It's
over.
a howler.
People even calling for others to boycott Rare Beauty by Selena Gomez. But with all that, I gotta pass the question off to you here. What are your thoughts? And then Taylor Swift has broken records and changed the game in a number of verticals, a number of fields. And that's been fantastic for her. But for industries that are scared that other people are going to do it, we're seeing them try to shut the door behind her. With, for example, record labels absolutely terrified of the success Taylor Swift has had with her re-recordings. Which, if you're unfamiliar, you need a little refresher. Taylor Swift started an effort to re-record her first 6 albums a few years ago after the rights to her masters were sold to music mogul Scooter Braun. And so these new recordings are called Taylor's version, and they've been incredibly successful so far. And the now most recent, 1989, getting released over the weekend to huge numbers, breaking records on Spotify, even on track to outsell the original release of the album, which was in 2014. And of course, the record labels aren't a fan of this because those new versions of the album devalue the original recording significantly, especially when a musician has as loyal a following as Taylor does. I mean, so many fans won't just go, yeah, I'll autoplay whatever. They will fully cut ties with the old work and make them a thing of the past. So it just ends up being a massive L for whoever owns the original release. So the industry has responded like, hey, we're the one that do the fucking. We don't get fucked. And so outlets like Billboard are reporting that record labels are trying to take steps to prevent artists from re-recording their work. And they're specifically doing this by using new contract language. And some of that language language saying that artists cannot re-record their work until 10 or even 30 years after their contract ends, which is a lot longer than what's standard right now, which is a waiting period of 5 to 7 years after the album came out, or 2 years after the contract's up. But with all this, in response to it, Universal Music Group, which actually owns the label Taylor works with now, they claimed it had been making contract changes since 2021, just as a re-recording effort started before we saw the full scale of its success. And while she's not the first major artist to ever re-record her work, Taylor's versions have been undeniably successful. So successful that it's made other artists want to follow in her footsteps. With a board member of the Music Artists Coalition previously speaking to the Wall Street Journal after Taylor re-released Red, saying, what Taylor did is a game changer, not just for her fans, but for other artists. She is inspiring artists to re-record their songs and control their music. Taylor is leading by example, showing fans and artists that it's possible to take control of their future. And so understandably, tons of people seeing this news are pissed, right? Because obviously this isn't what Taylor wanted to accomplish with the re-recording. Right? In addition to take control of her own work, she was trying to expand artist control.
It's not her fault, bro.
And so you have people saying things like, God forbid artists owned their work. And this is genuinely evil. Artists deserve the right to take back their work if it's stolen from them under predatory practices. But really, I would argue that this was kind of inevitable. Because once again, it's not like the labels were going to see this and go like, wow, those guys lost a lot of money because she did that thing. We should just continue doing nothing about it. And then, very soon, a plane's going to be taking off from a military base in California, and once it is directly above Los Angeles, it's going to open its doors and unleash a swarm, specifically of millions of fruit flies. They'll be pouring from the belly of the beast and descending upon the city in droves, either as a way to usher in, or, if you believe Gavin Newsom, it is just a temporary measure to combat invasive species. And that's because wild Mediterranean fruit flies were recently discovered in Los Angeles, and they damage over 250 fruit and vegetables by laying eggs in them. And with that, it's believed that if their population spirals out of control, it could cost the state up to $1.8 billion per year. So as far as, well, why do we want more fruit flies? Where are you going to dump more fruit flies if the situation is too many fruit flies bad? It's because these new fruit flies are reportedly sterile, meaning that they'll fire blanks into the existing females until they all die off. And this is actually a method that's been used effectively to manage invasive species since 1996. And at this time, officials say that they've set up a quarantine area of 69 square miles covering parts of Culver City, South LA, and Central LA. The spokesperson saying planes will drop around 250,000 fruit flies per square mile there every week for 6 months or longer. So yeah, if you're in LA, very likely you're going to see more and more fruit flies, at least for the short period. And it'll be interesting to see how effective this is, because looking into it, a female can lay 500 eggs. And then, my dogs are a huge part of our family, and nutrition is very important for their life and well-being. But it can also get costly, so I want to thank the sponsor of today's show, Sundays. Because Sundays is fresh dog food made from a short list of human-grade ingredients containing 90% meat, 10% veggies, and 0 synthetic nutrients. And unlike other fresh dog foods, Sundays doesn't require refrigeration or preparation because of their air drying process. Just pour and serve, and it's super easy to store. And I'm not exaggerating when I tell you our dogs are obsessed with this food. Like, they see the box and those eyes get huge, those tails are a wagging. And yeah, we love feeding them quality food, but also I love the convenience of home delivery. That's where it's at for us. And it's nice having it on a schedule, because I think, we've all been there where we're like, oh crap, I've been doing so much, I forgot to grab a bag at the store. You have to resort to like sliced bread. You're like, do you like that? Is that okay? Plus, get this, Sundays cost 40% less than other healthy dog food brands because Sundays doesn't waste money shipping frozen packages. Instead, they spend on what matters, sourcing them, issuing an alert, flagging 26 different eye care products for potential risk of eye infection that could lead to partial vision loss or blindness. These are major brands we're talking about. Target, CVS, Rite Aid, Velocity Pharma all had some of their over-the-counter eye products flagged. Right? And what we know is that according to the news release, FDA investigators found unsanitary conditions at a manufacturing plant. Bacterial test came back positive, although the agency didn't also say what bacteria they found. While there haven't been any reports of infection, the FDA is recommending consumers get rid of these products if they have them, either by taking them to a drug take-back site or checking the FDA's flush list to see if the product can be safely discarded at home. They're also recommending that the manufacturer recall the products, and the big stores like Target, Rite Aid, and CVS are already removing them from shelves and online stores. But a key thing is that these issues go beyond eye infections. We've got to talk about lead as well. That's because in a different notice posted this weekend, the FDA warned parents to have their children checked out after extremely high levels of lead were found in the Wanabana apple cinnamon fruit puree pouches following an investigation by North Carolina public health officials. And the FDA and North Carolina Department of Health and Human Services are advising parents not to give the pouches to their kids and to throw them out immediately, which of course makes sense. Lead exposure can seriously harm a child's health and cause damage to the brain and nervous system, or potentially slowing down growth and development, as well as contributing to learning, hearing, and behavioral problems. With Wanabana also reportedly agreeing to voluntarily recall all the apple cinnamon pouches regardless of expiration, but we also haven't gotten a statement from them yet. Though the FDA is saying they are, quote, continuing to work with state officials and the firm, collecting additional information and taking steps to remove all contaminated products from the market. So yeah, be careful out there. And then, the numbers we're seeing in the U.S. education system right now are pretty damn wild. With a new Washington Post analysis finding that in 18 states, the number of homeschooled children has risen by about 50% over the past 6 years, that mirroring similar increases across the country. And so you have the Post estimating that there are now between 1.9 and 2.7 million homeschooled children in the United States, which is even more than Catholic school students. And that increase outpacing the 7% rise in private school enrollment, as well as the 4% drop in public school enrollment. And that's been a change that many opponents of public education have celebrated, because many have been promoting homeschooling as part of a broader politics of so-called school choice. Notably there, the Post found no correlation between school district quality as measured by standardized test scores and homeschooling growth. In fact, high-scoring districts had some of the biggest spikes in homeschooling early in the pandemic. And one reason for that is the shifting reasons people are pulling their kids out of school. Where the new crop of post-pandemic homeschoolers are compared to their predecessors more likely to make the switch for reasons of circumstance rather than ideology. But according to the Post, 34% of survey respondents now name religious instruction as a reason for homeschooling, with about half the share who did before the pandemic. But now more common reasons include the desire to escape bullying, to ensure special needs are dealt with properly, and even to protect their kids from school shootings and other violence. And with all that, the highest statewide increase that we saw was in New York, and in New York City, 24 of 33 school districts saw the number of homeschooled children rise by at least 200%. But notably, homeschoolers still lean more conservative and religious than the general public. And so with that, of the 10 districts with the most homeschooled kids in the Post database, 9 are in Florida, with about 1 in 3 homeschool parents nationally saying the Bible is the literal word of God, and nearly half saying liberal influence on public schools is a reason they homeschool, which has led to a big criticism of the system, that parents have near absolute control over what ideas their kids encounter, and most states have very little oversight. But reportedly, homeschooled kids don't have to submit to any form of testing for academic progress in most states, and even states that require assessments often offer loopholes. So you end up getting these cases where you have parents teaching their kids that the Earth is several thousand years old, or climate change is a hoax, or you see more extreme cases like the Nazi homeschooling network in Ohio that distributed lesson plans with quotes from Hitler. And it's not just the quality of the education that critics are upset about, it's also the effect on the community. With, for example, Eddie Campbell, president of the Kentucky Education Association, arguing, if you go to any public school, it's the heart of the community in which it is situated. People gather there for football games, they gather there for concerts, they go to celebrate the academic success of their students. We have many of these homeschooling families saying they have recreated those communal functions through stuff like co-ops, micro schools, and Facebook. So you have homeschooled kids from the area socializing and playing sports together, as well as putting on plays, having proms, and do graduation. And then the counter argument is that those groups often cluster by shared ideologies, so students rarely get exposed to people with different perspectives or backgrounds. And you also have critics saying that public schools help report students who show signs of child abuse and neglect. But then homeschool advocates argue that public schools themselves are where much of that abuse happens. And so now some activists, particularly among conservatives, are pushing for homeschooling voucher programs. And then you have others, particularly advocates of public education, going as far as to call for a ban on homeschooling entirely, which is actually, for example, something that Germany has done. But with this very complex issue that many are so passionate about on both sides, I gotta ask you, what are your thoughts here? And then we gotta talk about the student loan situation right now, because we're seeing new news, but also this whole situation's kind of ping-ponged back and forth. But the first thing up is that the Biden administration is now proposing new expansions to debt forgiveness, with a new proposal announced by the Education Department yesterday aiming to provide debt relief to 4 different categories of borrowers, including people who now owe more in student loan balances than what they initially borrowed due to interest, borrowers who have been paying off their loans for 25 years or longer, those who took out loans for career training programs leading to high debts or low earnings, as well as those who attended institutions with unacceptably high student loan default rates, and folks who are eligible for other loan forgiveness programs but haven't yet applied. And in addition to all that, the department also said that it's considering providing student loan relief for a 5th group of borrowers, people who are experiencing financial hardship that the current student loan system does not currently adequately address. But as far as what happens next, big key thing is none of it's locked down just yet. But the plan will still have to go through the administrative approval process, meaning we could see some changes. And to that point, the administration didn't provide an estimate of how many people this would actually help. So hopefully we'll know more soon, especially because, the Supreme Court struck down Biden's much more sweeping plan to cancel up to $20,000 in student loan debt for up to 40 million Americans. See if the Biden administration is still trying to figure out where it can help. And that hasn't been nothing. According to the Education Department press release yesterday, the Biden administration has so far approved $127 billion in relief for almost 3.6 million borrowers, which, hey, great, but also, unfortunately, it's just a fraction of the tens of millions of student loan borrowers who collectively owe more than $1 trillion when repayments began earlier this month, which actually brings us to the second piece of student loan news. The Education Department also announced yesterday that it had taken the very unusual move of punishing the biggest federal student loan servicer in the country after it failed to properly send billing statements to millions of borrowers in a timely manner. And that servicer in question being the Higher Education Loan Authority of the state of Missouri, otherwise known as MOHELA. According to a press release, the Education Department said that this past month, MOHELA failed to meet its basic obligation by failing to send billing statements on time to 2.5 million borrowers, that including some statements that were sent within just 7 days of the payment date, resulting in more than 800,000 borrowers failing to pay their loans on time. So as a result, the Education Department said that it would withhold a $7.2 million payment to Mohella for October, as well as directing the loan servicer to put the accounts of all the affected people in forbearance until the issue is resolved, meaning that those people won't have to pay their loans during that time. But then also beyond that, the agency said in the press release that it had additionally discovered errors from loan servicers, resulting in a small number of borrowers receiving incorrect payment amounts on their billing statements. So those impacted will also be placed in forbearance until the matter is fixed. And the department also going on to say that these actions aim to hold servicers accountable and that the agency will continue to monitor their performance to ensure that they are meeting their basic contractual obligations. It's adding that additional action may be warranted if they fail to meet those obligations. But also a key thing is that these failures are just one of the many issues that we've seen since the student loan pause ended. Or since student loan payments have resumed, the system is essentially buckled under the pressure. There have been so many reports of loan servicing errors, borrowers waiting on hold for hours, and widespread unresolved mistakes by servicers. So this whole thing's a complete mess, and pretty much all that people can do is hope that the Education Department's efforts to crack down and clean it up are going to be successful. Because hey, call me a cynic, but I don't think you can count on these companies to actually hold themselves accountable. And then the Farmageddon is upon us. And as far as what the hell is a Farmageddon, you have pharmacy workers right now at Walgreens and CVS locations across the country in the middle of a 3-day walkout that started yesterday. Though notably, this isn't the first labor action that we've seen from pharmacy workers recently in protest of harsh working conditions that put customer safety at risk, with their focus mainly being on the dangerously low staffing levels at pharmacies across the country. The pharmacy workers saying that low staffing levels prevent them from being able to do their jobs properly and safely fill prescriptions, which presents a serious risk to patients. With, for example, one pharmacist saying she would fill hundreds of prescriptions during her shift with no technician to help, another describing working 14-hour shifts completely alone. One former Walgreens pharmacist and one of the coordinators of the walkout adding, after years and years of trying to get the attention of the corporations about those issues, their inability to respond properly and their skillful ways to shift blame and lie to the public about the true essence of their practices, which have eventually led to this public crisis and unsafe conditions, employees really had enough. And so the walkout's been dubbed Farmageddon on Facebook, where most of the organization has taken place. And one of the coordinators, Shane Jerominski, he said that there will be over 5,000 pharmacy workers participating over the 3 days. And then to wrap up their walkout, the organizers have a demonstration planned for tomorrow outside the Walgreens headquarters in Deerfield, Illinois, with the big goals of the pharmacy workers being to pressure the companies into hiring more workers and establishing mandatory training hours, among other things. And with all this, we've seen them get support from established unions in adjacent fields. And among those, you have the American Pharmacists Association backing the walkout as well, with their CEO saying, quotas on the number of prescriptions filled per hour or vaccines administered per day or even time to answer the phone simply fail to recognize that the pharmacist-patient relationship is not transactional. It is a special covenant, and supervisors who distill everything down to numbers and time metrics are destroying that relationship in the name of profitability. This must stop immediately. Now also, one of the big things here is the majority of Walgreens and CVS pharmacy workers are not unionized, which has made walkout organization more complicated, and it's unclear just how far-reaching the impact is and what the actual numbers will look like. And so far, you have a Walgreens spokesperson saying that only 2 of their 9,000 stores have actually been affected as of yesterday afternoon, and a CVS spokesperson said that it's, quote, business as usual. But then you have Jerominski telling CNN that there have been at least 25 store closures. So right now, we're not really sure the true scale of the walkout. Though you also have CVS saying there's been, quote, continuous two-way dialogue with the pharmacists to address their concerns. And Walgreens has said they have many efforts focused on recruitment and retention of pharmacy staff. But for now, we'll have to wait and see. And if you happen to see this at your local CVS or Walgreens, let us know. And then, life doesn't happen bi-weekly, so why should you pay it? And the money you earn can be in your hands today thanks to the sponsor of today's show, Earn It. Earn It is the app that gives you access to your money ASAP. You can access up to $100 a day or up to $750 per pay period, just like that. You just download the Earn It app, verify your paycheck, and access your money in minutes. You can also leave an optional tip if you'd like, and don't worry about scheduling payments. It's automatically repaid from your next paycheck. Because there are times when money isn't moving as fast as your life is. A last-minute thing, something super special, maybe an unexpected trip to the vet, and Earn It has you covered. Earn It helps give you peace of mind when it comes to cash, and over 3.5 million customers agree. So download Earn It today, spelled EARNIN in the Google Play or Apple App Store. When you download the Earn It app, type in Philip DeFranco under podcast when you sign up. It really helps out our show. That's Philip DeFranco under podcast. Subject to your available earnings, location, daily max, and pay period max. See earnin.com/TOS for details. And Earn It is a financial technology company, not a bank. Bank products are issued by Evolve Bank and Trust, member FDIC. And then, should fentanyl be legally classified as a weapon of mass destruction? That is a real, genuine debate that's happening at the highest levels of government right now. And some key agencies like the DOD, Homeland Security, and the FBI are actually already preparing. In fact, as far back as 2018, you had the FBI's Weapons of Mass Destruction Directorate issuing an internal bulletin on this. With that report, which wasn't officially made public, it was given to The Intercept by a former federal law enforcement official saying that fentanyl was very likely a viable option for a chemical weapon attack by extremists or criminals. But it also added that the FBI found that the likelihood of that threat is a low probability because there's no known credible threat reporting on the use of fentanyl as a WMD in the U.S. But the FBI still went on to explain that it had assessed the drug to be a likely viable option for a WMD because it is so toxic. And that bulletin specifically warning that even just short-term exposure to fentanyl, including through accidental skin contact or inhalation, can result in serious complications and even death. But very notably here, that statement was drawn from a DEA fentanyl briefing guide for first responders that has since been removed because of factual inaccuracies. So that guide, including a big red warning that said that just having skin contact with or inhaling even a small amount of fentanyl can result in death. The DEA actually eventually revised its guidance after the American College of Medical Toxicology and the American Academy of Clinical Toxicology published a study back in 2017 that firmly concluded the risk of clinically significant exposure to emergency responders is extremely low. With the experts saying that at the time of publication, they hadn't seen any reports of emergency responders developing signs or symptoms consistent with opioid toxicity from incidental contact with opioids, and adding that accidental absorption through skin contact is unlikely to cause opioid toxicity. And all of that has since been widely backed up by medical experts who agree you cannot overdose on fentanyl just by touching it. One of the key things here is that before the DEA updated its guidance, it blasted that briefing with incorrect information to law enforcement agencies and other first responders all over the country. And in fact, still today, that initial guidance has caused widespread misinformation, with 3 different studies showing that about 80% of police surveyed still believe that touching fentanyl can cause an overdose. Right, I mention that because it's those misconceptions that have directly contributed to the growing support for categorizing fentanyl as a WMD. For example, back in 2019, the military news website Task and Purpose obtained an internal DHS memo that was sent to the head of DHS by the Assistant Secretary in charge of the agency's newly created Office for Countering Weapons of Mass Destruction, or CWMD. And that memo, which was titled Use of Counter WMD Authorities to Combat Fentanyl, specifically cited the FBI report from the year earlier that had relied in part on now debunked information, directly quoting the part of the report that said the FBI had assessed that fentanyl is very likely a viable option for a chemical weapon attack by extremists or criminals. But as The Intercept notes, the memo oddly left out the next sentence, which warned a fentanyl WMD event was low probability. Now, the DHS, for its part, didn't respond to the outlet's questions about why that essential piece was not included, via The Intercept speculating that the omission appears to be part of a bureaucratic turf grab, noting that if fentanyl could be designated as a WMD, it could fall under the jurisdiction of the DHS's new CWMD office. And experts have backed that up, arguing that the officials pushing for WMD classification are intentionally whipping up a frenzy over an already highly politicized drug to get more funding, with this including Dan Quezada, a WMD expert, former advisor to the White House on chemical and biological preparedness, who told Task and Purpose back in 2019 that the DHS memo reads like somebody is laying the administrative background for trying to tap into pots of money for detecting WMD and decontaminating WMD, and adding it's an interdepartmental play for money. That's all it is. And also saying that is still true today, with them telling The Intercept that the effort to treat fentanyl as a WMD involves emergency responders giving fentanyl mythical properties that toxicologists and anesthesiologists who use the stuff all the time refute. And even asking the question, is it the next anthrax scare, a way to beg for budget, training, and equipment? And notably there, we've already seen that effort working for DHS. Right, in the 2019 memo, the Assistant Secretary of the CWMD office said that by looking at fentanyl as a WMD, his office could develop and deploy a number of technologies, including sensors to detect the drug. And sure enough, later that same year, the DHS's Science and Technology Director announced that they were working with a private firm to develop a device capable of detecting fentanyl. Very notably here, in that announcement, the agency also repeated the false claim that fentanyl can be absorbed through the skin, saying it puts many first responders at risk of a fatal contact overdose. And then the next year, the CWMD office gave a government contractor $1.7 million to produce another detector to screen for small amounts of fentanyl outside of parcels. But also here, it's not just law enforcement and government agencies that have been pushing this effort. As the fentanyl crisis gets worse and worse, and understand it is, and it's killing more and more people, politicians are under increasing pressure to act. And recently we've seen an increasing number of them doing this by echoing those same calls. For example, back in June of 2022, Representative Lauren Boebert introduced the Fentanyl is a WMD Act with the backing of nearly a dozen other Republicans. In a press release detailing the bill, Boebert argued that fentanyl could be weaponized by citing, you guessed it, that faulty 2018 FBI bulletin that said that fentanyl is very likely a viable option for use as a WMD. And very notably, like the 2019 DHS memo, which she also cited, Boebert specifically left out the next line where the FBI explicitly says that it has a low probability of happening. But in addition to the possibility of weaponization, the press release also argued that the designation would actually help them get the fentanyl crisis and opioid epidemic under control. That was also echoed a few months later in a letter signed by a group of 18 state attorneys general urging President Biden to categorize fentanyl as a WMD or encourage Congress to if he determines that he doesn't have the sole power to make the decision. And again, like Boebert, the group argued that this classification be made both to avert the possibility of fentanyl being used as a weapon and to address the crisis at large. But importantly, experts have pushed back against this idea, with many in fact arguing that it's only going to make the situation worse. With, for example, an emergency physician and medical toxicologist at Johns Hopkins Hospital telling Vice, that sounds like a dumb idea. It's not a terrorist weapon. And I think if we try to treat it like a terrorist problem, if we try to treat it like a weapon of mass destruction, we're handling it the completely wrong way. And that was echoed by Eric Reinhardt, an anthropologist of law and public health and resident physician at Northwestern University, who said that classifying fentanyl as a WMD would take away solutions that are actually proven to help opioid addiction, explaining we have a mass casualty event in the U.S. already, and it's not because of Russia or Colombia, or any foreign nation. It's because of U.S. criminal legal policies that have manufactured an absurd opioid overdose epidemic. And adding, we've been investing almost all resources into policing systems and military suppression of illicit substances. It doesn't work. If it did, we would be a country with one of the lowest opioid overdose rates in the world. And instead, we're the leading opioid overdose country. Right? And to that point, it's been reported that the director of the National Drug Control Policy at the White House, they suggested during a call with reporters last year that the president isn't considering designating fentanyl as a WMD. But still, as this crisis continues to get worse and worse, it'll be really interesting to watch if the pressure grows for the president, or perhaps more importantly, pressure on Congress, right, to take some sort of action, especially as fentanyl and border control, which go hand in hand with the opioid crisis, are such a hot button issue heading into the 2024 election season. But with all of that now said and broken down, I gotta pass the question off to you. What are your thoughts here? And then let's talk about yesterday today, where we take a look back at yesterday's show, where we covered a lot of news. We dive into those comments to see what are you saying, what are your opinions, maybe sometimes what are your experiences connected to the stories. Starting with the comment, hey Phil, the 0000 in the description is ruining the chapters. Needs to be 000 for it to work. Matt, know that the proper people were punished, beaten, shamed, and none of that actually happened. I just changed it in the description really quick, but thank you. The show is as long as they have gotten. I know that those time codes are very helpful. As far as conversation about the stories, there's a lot of people talking about that detective, saying if you're going to openly help someone whom you believe to be a murderer simply over a petty squabble, then you shouldn't be a police officer in any capacity. People calling the situation mind-blowing, and saying the fact that the precinct kept him on the job is not surprising, but infuriating. Some also asking, why doesn't the officer get treated like every other witness that refuses to testify, saying subpoena him and force him to testify? Why do we act like there are special people with special privileges and special status? No. Rule of law applies equally to everyone. Force them to pick testify or jail. Then regarding the Charlie D'Amelio controversy and debate, we saw someone claim, I encountered Charlie D'Amelio while working at Halloween Horror Nights at Universal Studios Hollywood this year. I was closing a heavy tram door for her group when a fan tried to run on and get a picture with her. The door swung down, so when I stopped/bumped the door, the shocks pulled it back up, injuring my shoulder. I yelled out in pain while Charlie and her friends proceeded to take selfies with the kid and his friends. I explained to her tour guide that I needed to close the door, and they have the oblivious audacity to tell the kids, okay, 15 seconds for photos, then we've got to go. What? That was 15 extra seconds where my hand was stuck in the door pull, and my shoulder injury was being aggravated. They're actively delaying the operation of the tram for everyone, ignoring basic safety rules. My shoulder is in immense pain, and they're taking selfies. I ended up on modified duty for 3 days because of it. It's now a running joke in the break room that Charlie D'Amelio broke my shoulder. Influencers who have never had a real job need to get a grip. Just because kids want to take a picture with you wherever you go does not make you better or more important than anyone else, and I'm actually embarrassed for her putting selfies over safety and not even realizing it was a problem. Also adding before it even comes from me, I think it's nice that Charlie was engaging with the fans, but not at the expense of safety. Fans got their pictures, but I got hurt, and that's not okay. And others adding, I work as a cashier in a grocery store. If the D'Amelios tried to do my job, they'd be ugly crying in the dairy cooler within an hour. Also adding, 100% agree with you on there should be a requirement to work a year in fast food or retail to graduate high school. But that is where your daily dive into the news is going to end today. Though, for more news you need to know, of course, I got you covered right here. You can click or tap, or I got links in the description down below. And of course, as always, my name's Philip DeFranco. You've just been filled in. I love yo faces, and I'll see you right back here tomorrow for more news.
Shine bright all season with FedEx Office. Deck out your booth to bring in traffic. Promote
As if the roles are reversed and Messi won the treble and Haaland won the World Cup, Messi will still win the Ballon d'Or.
Yeah. But you brought in players that, one, you're not even starting anymore. Two, you can't find a plan for them. You know what I mean? And three, some of them just, are they good enough to pay for Man United? It's very debatable.
Mason Mount, you buy him, yeah? And, okay, cool. Injuries as well, and you haven't even given him 5 games to play.
Yeah, Mason Mount was... Welcome back to another episode of the Inside Scoop. It's myself, Coach Cams. And of course, 2 weeks in a row, I told you, finally joined by Harry Pinero.
I'm here.
You know what I mean? Like, this is unbelievable. When was the last time we done 2 weeks in a row?
Don't know what you're talking about.
Right.
It's a bit crazy.
You know? But yeah, and we are joined by a special guest. Of course, he's been on the show already, a friend of the show. Mr. Avellino.
Speaking truths about my beloved club, my brothers.
Yeah.
Also love the football club.
Yeah, nah, for real. But guys,
everyone's up to date with this content. But listen, as I've said, listen, it's not been a good week. As you know, we're all United fans. You know, we don't always try and get a United guest, but we had to bring in a United guest this week because, listen, it's serious. It's therapy. It's therapy, man. I've already ranted and blasted this football club, but I know you guys have a lot to say. But I don't really want to talk too much about the game per se. I want to ask you guys, like, what is next for Man United? What's next? Like, what's the future looking like for this club at the moment?
I think everyone can see it's very bleak for Man United right now. Because, not to, say the same thing over and over again, but it has been 10 years where we've been in this same situation, same scenario, with countless managers walking in the door and leaving out the door with nothing but, trophies that I guess we don't even consider as Man United trophies, with all due respect. I feel like we've had a very crazy summer and leading up to where we are right now in the league with potential buyers from the Qataris to Sir Jim Radcliffe, and all of this stuff, I guess, has just been in the background, and it's been, I guess, polluting a lot of Man United fans' mind, because we know that if we get this, it's essentially a change that we're looking for. But because I always say Man United from the top, that is the issue. It's what happens on the field is a separate issue, but at the top, in any business, in any walk of life, if that is not right, everything else filters down. And I feel like because it's been a mess, you see the way we recruit, you see the amount of money we spend on signings, the players that we buy, the way that everything that happens bad in the club gets leaked to the press. So I believe, until, things change in terms of ownership in the club, we're going to be being in the same position week in, week out, about, it was this, it was that. It's just, for me, I think as a business, as a club, we've lost the essence of what Man United is. We were powerhouses of football because of what we've done on the pitch. Now we are genuinely a business. It's a business model that is there to literally, make money, but we don't do nothing well on the pitch. And as a fan, I don't care about how much money my club makes. I want to see 3 points. So for me, I just feel like it's going to be bleak for a very long time. And as fans, we just have to accept it. That's reality. And I feel like, just to add to what Bro's saying, I feel like, so we were speaking the other day, man, and I was thinking about, because I was talking about the owners, I feel the same, and I'm like, and then the final said to me, you don't always have money to spend in the summer. And it made me think, what do we actually mean by, when it comes to the owners, when we blame the players? And I'm like, I could be wrong, I don't think I am, but these are pure businessmen. They don't care about it, which could be fine. But the problem that we face at United with having owners that not too bothered about football is that United, I just checked now, are, second to Real Madrid. In terms of valuation, always one of the top earners in football. So football performance doesn't actually affect what Man United make it. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So if you're just straight businessmen and don't care too much about the football, and the football performance doesn't affect the fact that your club's turnover was a certain amount and you're making a certain amount of money, then for fans that love the game, like you said, just want to see 3 points and want to see a top football performance, it's not in your best interest to try to make this business produce the best football we can possibly make. Now, we've done this whole sacking managers over the years, and let's look at 2 clubs that's worked for. Chelsea and Real Madrid. The common denominator that they had was Florentino Perez and Roman Abramovich absolutely loved the football club. You just go watch the David Beckham interview to see how much pride Perez had in his baby Real Madrid. You get what I'm trying to say? So that, he's gonna, no matter what the club's making, it's almost like a bragging right, or you know what I mean? He's gonna make sure Real Madrid is always at the top of Spanish football. Do you get what I mean? So, but obviously the Glazers won't have that sort of emotion towards the club because the football performance doesn't affect what they're making, so they can have this kind of cold approach. They're at a few games a year, if that, you know what I mean? So to develop on that now, I believe Ten Hag's doing all the signings himself.
He has a lot of control over the
control, and it's like, look, I do music. There's a lot of sick producers. I'm making an album, I gotta go and get the right executive producer. Why? Of course I can just do my thing myself, I'm talented. But if I get the right executive producer, it's not about all the sick producers that are out there. He can help, our shared vision can help get the right producers for this project. So of course Ten Hag, he's a good coach. You know what I mean? Of course he, might have a good idea as to what he wants to achieve. But, if you have the right, the right setup around him, technical directors, all these sort of people for recruitment,
sign good players, amongst all the players, you have a better chance of getting the right players for whatever the project is. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And, you know, I believe that sort of further explains to Manchester United fans why we say the owners and the Glazers are a problem. It's not a buzz sort of phrase. It's deep. It's facts, like, you know, it's not about players. These are world-class players who've been signed over the years. Is Pogba a bad player? Is Di Maria a bad player? Is Falcao a bad player? Is Casemiro a bad player? Is Varane? All these footballers are not bad players. Do you get what I'm trying to say? Is Van Gaal a bad manager? Is Ten Hag a bad manager? Is all these managers, they're not bad managers. So let's really look at the actual issue. It starts from up here. You know what I'm trying to say? For those reasons, I believe.
Like, but do you think there's sometimes there's a lack of accountability on the managers' parts as well? Because obviously, okay, the club should have a structure, and we've known that. And listen, the talk about the whole Jim Ratcliffe thing and stuff. Look, well, no matter what people think of Jim Ratcliffe, listen, I don't have any high thought or opinion on him. But if the talk of him wanting full control and wants to bring in a sporting director and wants to do all of that is true, then we kind of just got to get behind that. You know what I mean? We kind of got to support that vision, because at the end of the day, he's a Man United fan, blah, blah, blah. I think he will want best for the club. I don't think he will sit there and think, okay, it's another money scheme or whatever. I think he's 70-something. He probably just sees this as a last hurrah for business in his life, let's be honest, and he might just want to see Man United back on the top. So maybe that structure side can get fixed, which is why I'm not out here saying Ten Hag out, because if Ten Hag gets sacked, another manager will come in and we'll be in the same situation. 100%. But my concerns are, which I mentioned before, is that 400 million has been spent. Now, I don't really care too much about figures of money. It's more about who you bring in. Forget the figures, whatever happened. But you brought in players that, one, you're not even started anymore. Two, you can't find a plan for them. You know what I mean? And three, some of them just, are they good enough to pay for Man United? It's very debatable. So, as much as we say the structure, are we basically saying that every signing that Ten Hag has made, if we had a sporting director, it wouldn't have happened? No. They still, a lot of them still would have come to the club, and what would we have done with them?
I think what it is, though, there is, like you said, you're right, the accountability has to be there, because Ten Hag's, some of the signings that he's made, I think, have been based off, you know, what's happened in the past at teams that he's managed. You look at Anthony, he was an exciting prospect at Ajax, comes to Manchester United, and it's been a total, honest shit show. Yeah. Lisandro Martinez has been a great signing for me. I think he showed that he's a great defender. It's just injuries and so on and so forth. Casemiro, we all know what he can do as well. I just think the team that Manchester United have anyway was always lackluster anyway. We've always been saying that we need a team to compete. When we look at all the other teams in the Premier League that are doing well, you can see 11 for 11. You'd prefer more teams than United. So I don't think that it's a sporting director thing. I just think currently with our crop of players and the style of football that he's trying to implement with United, it just doesn't work with the players that we have.
But he came through and he said, just this week, he said, I can never play the football that I played at Ajax.
Because when he first came to United, he was basically saying that's what he wants to do.
This is what I'm trying to say.
I think pressure, do you know what it is?
Is he cracking?
I think
that sounds like you're kind of throwing in the towel a little bit.
I think the pressure's got to him, because look, reality is, you've come into a team, you've seen them play when you're not managing them, and you think, you know what, I can change that. And everyone's got confidence to do that, which is you should have that. And the first season went really, really well, in my opinion, in terms of where we finished and so on and so forth. Season 2 now, I think there's been something in that dressing room for me isn't the same as what it was last season. I think there's a lot of mentality shifts. The reason why I say mentality shifts is because there was something that we saw last season when, you know, we go 1-0 down, we'll come back and we'll change the game, and you thought, we just need to get better at this. I think that we've rinsed that now. And I think teams have figured us out so much so that whenever we play against teams, we look like we're the away team. We look like we're the lesser team. And I think it's very difficult to try and implement a style of football when the players, so to speak, are not giving their 100%.
But why wouldn't they give their 100%?
That's something that we've seen for years. It's mentality, bro. Like, I always say, bro, like, for example, we watched that Beckham documentary. He is genuinely one of the greatest players of all time, Capello didn't want him. Glenn Hoddle put him out there like he was a problem. Sir Alex Ferguson said he needs to go. Not once did you see him not put him on. Not once did you see him not give you 100%. We've got players that genuinely, because of the way we put them on a pedestal, believe that they shouldn't be working hard. Bruno Fernandes Gomez, Rashford, Sancho, a lot of them, they're in an environment that is so, it's like you're being baby. And there's no one that's better than you in your team for your place to go. So you're always going to play.
But the thing is, with that, Ten Hag, like with the Rashford situation, he basically said that no matter what Rashford does, he's going to play him through until he gets on form, basically. And basically alluded to, he never really comes off, and he's going to keep it that way. Now, if you're Sancho, who I'm sure with the reports coming out that he's fuming that Anthony was always getting opportunities and stuff. If you're Sancho and you're sitting there, or if you're just a player sitting there and you hear and you see Rashford with 1 goal this season, okay, he's the only guy that in our attack that have scored, fair enough. But you see him 1 goal playing so poor, and you hear the manager say, no matter what, he's gonna play through. And then you sit there and you're like,
sorry, it's definitely different.
There's inconsistency then, isn't it?
The reason why I say there's a slight difference is because Rashford just had a 30-goal season, and for any forward, a 30-goal season is a great season. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So he has earned extra leeway in that area. Do you get what I'm trying to say? That regard? And just speaking on the Sancho situation, I wasn't there. I don't know the ins and outs. Sancho may well be right in certain things that he's saying. Do you know what I mean? It's very possible. But at the end of the day, it's in Sancho's best interest to assess his own football performance. And I would say if he had a genuine assessment of himself, he would say that when opportunities were put in front of him, he maybe never gave his best level. Because to me, Sancho, people think I'm crazy for saying it, but to me, Sancho has one of the best talents in world football. But he's not in a conversation of the best footballers in the world. And that's based on performance. So I've seen Sancho on the team sheet. And he hasn't grabbed this opportunity with 2 hands. Do you know what I mean? So I feel like that's the difference. I hear it's a bit much to say, Rashford will never come up, etc. But the difference between the 2 players is one just had a 30-goal season, which to any forward in his football history is a good, it's a really good, it's a really good return. No, I was just gonna say, in terms of the mental side of the game, seems to be the big problem. Massive problem. And massive. At times I do feel for the managers of Man United, because this ain't just a straight being a good coach or good tactician, all these things ain't enough to manage Manchester United. Maybe Brighton or Ajax, where these young players have motivations such as getting their big move and changing their families' lives. There's different motivations, you know what I mean, to get to the top. These young players at Man United, this is their big move. They're 22 years old and 300 bags a week. You know what I mean? So it's more than just I'm a good coach or I'm good at tactics or whatever it might be. It's how do I find the motivations for these young men to show up every time and to work together? Getting people to work together in harmony is one of the most difficult tasks of all time in any industry. Do you get what I'm trying to say? And if you don't believe me, give it a go. See how you do. So getting a group of, and not even just that in terms of the young players, also there's this almost unspoken thing between people where it's like, it's also difficult as a manager if you haven't won Champions League, Premier Leagues, and you're managing Varane, Casemiro, which is probably why Arteta walks into Arsenal and has to get rid of Ozil, and part of the reason, and Aubameyang and all these people. And it's probably part of the reason why Zidane can walk into that Real Madrid dressing room and guide them to Champions League trophies with no managerial experience. Because it's that unwritten thing where it's like an ego to ego. I respect you, you've done what you've done. I can almost trust you. You know what I mean? So it's like if I get, I don't know, Dr. Dre to executive produce my album, there's certain decisions that I might just trust him with because he's Dr. Dre. Do you get what I'm trying to say? So it's that level of.
And when you don't have that, these players ain't won that much to not be respected and managed. And if it's not winning, it's the salaries. It's the prop that we give them. If it's not the winning, if it's not the credentials, it's the I'm on this amount.